Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's show.
Hello, hello. How you guys doing? How's everything going this week? Happy Halloween, by the way, for those who celebrate.
Yep.
Those who do not celebrate, I think they call it. I don't know if they call it that holiday. With that movie about V and Vendetta, that holiday with the guy they burn every year. I don't know if it's actually
Isn't that
October.
November 5th? That's November 5th. The 5th of
Well,
November.
okay, I guess we're early celebration for that holiday then for those people in Britain. But anyway,
But
so
I
we're,
have the
we're just
picture
gonna
up, by the way.
Yeah. So we're gonna start off the show first. We're gonna, since we're not talking about a serial killer or some sort of horrible thing, we're talking about mob mentality. We're gonna try to advertise missing people, and this is a missing girl. Um, just one moment.
Oh, real quick. Hey everybody, hey grandma, hey BC, hey Spilling Tea, and congratulations, you're only one more sub away. So anybody who's watching or rewatching, y'all go to Spilling Tea with the Spilling Sweet Tea and BS, and please subscribe to her. Very amazing content. And I'm
Yeah,
sorry
very
you
nice
had a
then.
hard time. And Grandma Sherry, hey Sleuth Mom, Grandma
Yeah.
Sherry, Bass Cat, BC. I hope I got everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So this is Samuel Sutton, Nedley. So basically, Ann Arbor, Samuel Nedley has been missing since Wednesday, October 19th, when she was reported at her home in Pheasant Run in early morning hours. The 14-year-old had left a note which she mentioned self-harm. She has brown
Mm-mm.
hair, is 5'2", weighs 135 pounds, according to Ann Arbor Police Department release. Crime Stoppers Michigan is offering a $2,500 cash reward for information that leads to her location. Anonymous calls can be made to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Tips can be reported at www.800speakup.org on the free P3 mobile phone. I
Mm.
also want to say that, that she was last seen, it's Sandy Nedley was believed to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So, anyone in the Georgia area that sees this girl or knows anyone in the Georgia area that sees this girl, please, report to Crime Stoppers and try to get this girl home. So please share this
Most
around.
definitely.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you very
say
much.
that. So we're just gonna have that on for a minute, and we're just gonna situate. But yeah,
Does Sleuth Mom have any post or anything? Because if so, y'all go follow Sleuth Mom. She most likely has all the details to this and information, and she will keep track on it.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a little sad situation, but let me just put this in the
It's
chat room.
horrible.
Yeah, for sure. But
Uh,
anyway, well,
since the topic tonight is going to be touchy and we are talking about mob mentality, I am going to switch it to people who have subscribed for 5 minutes because, yes, um, because people like to fuck
like to be
around,
enough.
but they never
Yeah,
want to find out. But they will find out. So we're gonna just do that real quick. I
at
really
least you
hope
didn't.
they find her.
Yeah, I do. I do too. But hopefully someone sees her and reports her immediately. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, get to the topic. You can keep it on while we get to the topic. We can talk with the
Mhm.
topic at hand. So basically, how this all started was we've been following the Quentin case. Obviously, I've been following it more personally than Tony,
Mhm.
but Tony's been following it too a little bit. And the whole situation is we recently had a I recently talked to one of the people, the protesters. I'm going to call her Kim because I'm not going to dox her name continuously. But Kim basically goes on the show, tells her side of the story and everything. She talks about how, when she was the reason why she touched the door because basically she thought everyone else was going to touch the door and she was kind of the last person in. And basically, a lot of people said, well, she's a grown ass adult and she knows better and you know
Wait, what?
she yeah, she's the one that touched the door and the window, like banged on the door and window.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. And they were like, and then when I was talking to her and interviewing her, everyone was basically saying, thought I was a little too nice and a little too sympathetic to her. And they preferred to me just to scream at her and basically condemn her, even though she's been arrested and is facing either a large fine or
Mhm.
I mean, probably parole, and she's been embarrassed all over the news
Mhm.
and stuff like that. I would think that's punishment enough for being, for being
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
But
And really, who are you to her, anyways?
yeah,
That's the thing too. Like, what were you gonna? I'm really disappointed in you. Like, what are you gonna say? She's already been punished. The law already got her. She learned. I hope.
so
Could you
yeah,
post? Bass says. No, sorry. Sleuth Mom says, "Thank you, Grandma Sherry, for posting the links to Sleuth Mom and to Sweet Tea. But they will find out, quote unquote." Tony is like, "Go ahead and try." Yeah, yeah. Fuck around. Find out. I'm the find out
exactly.
part. I don't understand. It's a three-ring circus over there, and it's horrible. And I heard that they were about to
Yeah, so basically,
go
Quinton said,
to the
here,
grandmother.
yeah, just put
Not the
this.
grandmother. Sorry, excuse me, the babysitter.
Yeah, the babysitters keeps on talking. Hopefully, she stops talking. She talked again. Here, just put this article up. We'll just switch it a little bit. Put this article up. Just show Quentin's face. So Quentin's a 20-month-year-old, missing October 5th, basically. Um, the basically the child the there's a lot more social media issues, but let's just go with the crux of the case.
Mhm.
Basically, the mother, Leilani Simmons, 22, is considered the prime suspect of this missing kid. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of infighting. There's people from Dolly. Basically, Dolly and Betty are true crime, quote unquote, people that have gone there and proceeded to actually camp in front of Leilani's house, even though she has not been arrested or charged. She's just a suspect. And has proceeded to not only harass everyone in the neighborhood, but actually encourage it and also, basically scream all sorts of things, play child, crying music. Literally at night we'll have line people dancing in lines, literally line dancing and all matter of crazy shit they're doing. And it's really a circus. It's absolutely. You could have seen our last video. It was called True Crime Circus. It was like on Thursday we did it because obviously Friday we could not do it, and it's about the 20-month-year-old, and he's still missing. He's presumed dead. They're checking the not the dumpster, but the waste disposal center, because they believe the body was disposed of based on surveillance tapes they saw of an unknown person tossing something in there. The reason why I believe they probably named Lalani a suspect was basically because I always tell people don't talk to anyone on social media, but
Mhm.
basically someone talked, the mother of Lilani, Billy Joe, decided to talk to a YouTuber called Darkness Explorer.
Mhm.
Talk to someone called Darkness Exposed, and basically that person talked to her, like Billy Joe talked to her, talked to this YouTuber on a
Okay.
live, and then basically when that YouTuber was live, people saw her message, and basically, I think it forced the cop because basically the FBI talked to her, suspecting her daughter. She goes and tries to talk to this YouTuber, but everyone sees this live, this messenger, and basically forces the police to name Alani as a suspect without even arresting her or having a body or anything. So it's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. It's full of misinformation, full of crazy bullshit that is going on there.
And wouldn't it be? I know this is not a time to find humor, but wouldn't it be kind of funny? Like, I would like to see what the content is going to be after when they find out it wasn't her. It could be
Yeah,
something
that's why I
totally.
said
It's going to be fucking hilarious. What are you going to
it's.
do then?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's confusion because I'm hearing, like, I heard this a little bit today,
Mhm.
that, like, her story is basically she left the door open and,
Mm.
the kid could never open the door. And I don't know if it's changed from then. And basically, like, I think it's a lot. The issue really is that the police basically made their who was a suspect in the case, and it's made this whole entire circus situation because now everyone's down there, and now there's counter YouTubers like Cher that is trying to who's literally live streaming the mother, and it's just a shit show. And more YouTubers are thinking about going down there, and even if the woman confessed to these YouTubers about committing this crime. It would be a forced confession,
Please
and it's a
don't.
real shit. Yeah, it's a real shit show. But anyway, I want to talk. There was a lot of people that wanted to. They said, "Well, you can't." You know, when I said mob mentality to these people actually, excuse me, I don't even think they understood what mob mentality was. I think they
Probably
just
not. It's a
basically
big
watched
word.
this. Yeah, I'm sure they just watched The Simpsons and just assumed that's what I meant by mob mentality, and they thought, oh well, you know, The Simpsons with the mob. No, it's an actual scientific term. It's actually there's actually two scientific experiments we're going to be discussing and watching, and one is actually called the Esch conformity experiment, which is basically and we'll watch a video of it. We can actually put on the video of it in the beginning. So, but before we do that, we're gonna watch the cinnamon Shogun video that actually shows the whole protest and this woman who was apparently on the interview being arrested. And then we'll go through
Mm.
how could peer pressure force a person to adhere to information that might not be true and to conform to the social pressure? How could good people do bad things? Which is also another experiment we're going to be talking about, which is called the Milgram experiment. Which, if you're not familiar with the Milgram experiment, it was a very famous experiment that was done in the 1960s in film. We're going to watch it. And basically, it was done by a doctor who wanted to know about, why would the Nazis kill people, and they were all, why would they all follow orders? And it turns out, surprise surprise, the test formed that it basically, showed that almost every single person who was in that test actually electrocuted another person to death, the actor to death, based on just simple orders from an authority figure, a guy with a lab coat. Nothing else, just simply a lab coat, not a police officer or nothing. So yeah, we're gonna go through those things. We're gonna watch the protest a little bit. Like that, I'm gonna call it our like hooligans. I gotta train myself not to say it's a protest because it's really not a protest. So we're gonna start at 321 in the Cinematic Shogun thing, and I think you should just play it fast, instead of.
Hey, Jenny. Jenny's on Facebook. Hey, Jenny.
How
Sorry,
you
I
doing?
didn't see that fast enough. Okay, 3 minutes and what?
3 minutes and 21 seconds, and play it at 2 times speed. And if it's too fast for people, tell us in the chat, and we'll slow it down. When you're ready, tell me.
I think I did it right. Hold on. Okay, pressing play now. Hey, that girl.
How you doing with that girl?
Yeah, they're outside.
Of course, we're the last one left, so of course, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna get because I'm the last one here. But right now, well, but me and her, we were.
I just probably should have jumped a little bit ahead.
We came back and we're like, wow, like, where did everybody go? So then when he said me, and I said, no, that's not me.
Now this is a little bit old.
Everybody was out here.
Are they on the
So-
property right now?
I walk away, everybody leaves. So
That's them, y'all.
no blame should be on me because I didn't go up there.
Hard to say. It looks like
That's
cops are near. But basically,
That's
someone's
really
getting
bad.
arrested. That woman Kim is getting arrested because what she did. She banged on the windows and doors. She wasn't supposed to do that. Very stupid move, by the way.
Yeah.
But
people don't do
unfortunately,
that.
yeah, a very, very stupid move. But, unfortunately, people make stupid mistakes in life.
Y'all tell me my rights. Do I have to tell them my name?
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Do I have to tell them my name? Y'all, do I have to tell the police my name if they ask? Tell me. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, so this is
Do I
her
have to tell them
admitting
my
that
name
she
if they
actually
ask?
knocked on the window.
I don't know why they're here.
Because she thought that Lalani was twerking at her. I think that was what my understanding was. She got mad.
Wait, no, that one of the protesters were twerking. Let's
No,
be real.
stop it for a moment. This is the same let's just call her hooligan. That basically was the one twerking. So the same person that was twerking was the same person that banged on the windows.
Okay, so she was definitely, and nobody in this group said anything to her? Like, hey, you shouldn't do that? Like, hey...
They
like,
were encouraging it. That's mob mentality. They basically were a bunch of people encouraging her actions.
they wanted her to do it. They were just not brave enough to do it themselves.
Yeah,
I get it.
like the funny thing where like all of us in count of three will run, and then like basically everyone stays behind but the first person. That basically happened to her with the door situation, like that cartoon situation she describes.
Yeah.
So that's what she claimed. I don't know. I'm going by what she says. So that could be absolutely 100% true. But you have to basically look at everything. So we check your DMs when you... Okay. So let's continue playing it. I just
Okay.
wanted to stop it there
Pressing.
because... Okay.
No, what were you going to say?
Okay.
Okay, pressing play now.
I don't know what's going on actually.
So they press charges for trespassing and she's getting arrested.
I really don't want to if it's really personal. What made me mad was because Leilani opened the window and started twerking at me and talking at me. So I got upset. And if you guys gotta take me to jail, that's fine, but I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't.
Big English.
Well, I appreciate you being honest. See how we progress.
I told they know it was me, so I had to tell him that it was me that knocked on the window. But he was gonna pull the camera, so I just had to be honest. I told him he's got to take me to jail.
Oh, that's when you decided to be honest, is because there was
I told him about her
footage.
twerking in the window
Yeah.
and making me upset, so, I mean...
What the fuck?
But
Now,
he
this is
said
not
he was talking to
excusing
I
her
don't wanna press
for her
her
actions.
down,
She did something wrong, and she's getting punished for it.
I was just curious. They
I
didn't.
think
They
they're
didn't
about
ask
to
me.
take me. Because I know they're going to want to press. I know they're going to want to press charges. Here you go.
God damn it. Dang it. There's another one going.
I
Did you
should've
drive
changed- I should
here?
have changed my sweatshirt.
Did you drive here?
You want to press charges for trespassing?
I figured.
Appreciate you being honest.
Can I call my? Can I make a phone call first?
Go ahead, real quick.
Okay, so they are pressing charges.
They
Good.
want to press
Yeah.
charges.
Oh, don't cry now, because you weren't crying when you were harassing everybody in the neighborhood.
Fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
You gotta understand,
Cry.
man, one thing,
You can
You-
stop it now.
Being
Stop
out
it.
here
You can
protesting.
stop it.
You
Now, this is
and
the
your
woman...
weak friends who were not brave enough to do what you did, but they wanted you to do it.
mentality. So basically, she goes to jail. She eventually comes on Queen Bee's Live. She does an interview. We can watch the interview, but whatever. Maybe later. Maybe not now. But basically, she talked about a lot of mob mentality thought process. I mentioned mob mentality, but people thought I was excusing her actions and somehow, said that she's absolutely has nothing wrong. And then she says, well, she didn't admit guilt, and like basically she should have admitted some sort of guilt and guilty feelings. And I said, well, most people are probably, what's to say, everyone thinks they did the right thing, and probably she does admit that she fucked up and she was embarrassed of what she did.
No, she's not. She's just because she
She
didn't
was
have.
embarrassed.
Hold on. She didn't have any fucking emotion until. Are they gonna press charges on me? Okay. No, don't, no. She's only fucking embarrassed that she got caught.
Yeah, but the thing is that now she's embarrassed about being on the media and stuff like that.
Well, that's what happens when you do something stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I have no sympathy for someone who crosses property and bangs on someone's house, like their windows and their doors and stuff. I just don't. Maybe she did do something, like the mother. Maybe the mother did do something, but let the police do their job. They're doing it in such a way. And if you have a problem with her not being in custody, why aren't you protesting at the police station or CPS?
Well, I said that. I mean, like, she said that she was emotional, like, and she wasn't thinking, and all, the usual stuffs. But let's go with the first video, which is called the, let me see if I actually have it pulled up. Which is the Esh. Let me go.
They want to press charges. What did you expect, though?
Yeah, she should have knew that they were going to press charges because they've been they've been harassing them for days, so obviously they're not going to be too happy with it.
Because she
But
didn't
anyway.
feel any emotion until she was like, oh, they're going to press charge. Yes. You went
Yeah.
crazy.
So put up the Esh conformity experiment video.
Okay, hold on a second. I pressed the wrong one. Here we go. Okay, I can click out of the cinema. Also, this content, Cinema Shogun. Please go subscribe to him. I like his content a lot. He's a good guy. I hope to meet him someday. That's how much I like his content. Good guy.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
next video is a
It's
random
the
upload.
Yeah, it's an Esch conformity experiment video. This is actually a video that was
Oh, Jesus Christ. That girl. You know what? I'm going to tell you all this right now. I have bipolar 1. I have manic depression.
yeah, she
I'm
made
sick
that
and tired.
excuse.
I'm sick and tired of it. Doesn't make me go do stupid shit. I was in a
Yeah.
fight with my neighbor last week. She was
Yeah.
screaming her head off. Like, we have it recorded. I'm obviously not going to post it or anything.
Yeah.
But I still stayed on my property and I didn't yell until I noticed she was scaring the kids. Like, and I'm bipolar 1. What's her excuse? I didn't do anything crazy or stupid.
I think honestly, I didn't call bullshit on it because I don't know her mental thing, and I felt like that was more of an excuse, but I didn't want to call her
Well,
on it.
Well, I'm manic depressive and I'm going to call her out on it. No, you don't
Yeah.
do stupid shit. You know right from wrong. Even if you're going through an episode, you know right
Yeah.
from wrong.
I knew a friend that was bipolar would never do something like this, so I'm just I had a friend who was taking medication that was bipolar, and he would never do shit like this. He was very calm and collected person because he had his medication right and everything, and he was perfectly fine.
Exactly, and here's the thing too. A lot of things that come up these days in the last couple of years, it's always like that teacher that seduced her student, that boy, and she's like, she got off free because she's bipolar. When do we stop it? Just stop it. It's just weird. But here's the
But this
what
is
is
the Esch. This is called the Esch conformity experiment. I'm going to read what the Esch conformity experiment. The Esch conformity experiment consisted of a group of vision tests where study participants were found to be more likely to conform to obviously wrong answers at first given by other participants who were actually working the experiment. Basically, the experiment found that over a third of subjects conformed to giving wrong answers. In terms of gender, males show around half the effects of females tested in the same sex group. Conformity is also higher among members of the A group. So basically, what happened was, you're going to watch, is that there's four actors, and the fifth person is the person that performed the test on. So let's play it a little bit, and then I'll explain it. And this is what happens. Play the video.
Okay, real quick. Yeah, that girl. I know. My tone wasn't directed at you or anything. Thank you for telling me, because now I see the excuses that they're using. My tone was directed towards that particular woman, because you can tell she didn't. She was just upset. Oh, they're gonna press chart. Now you're upset and shedding tears. You know what I mean? Like, I'm bipolar. No, well, you might be, yes, but
Yeah.
But the thing is, you still know right from wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to press play. We're at 00. You good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Pressing play now.
Experiment is not a public opinion poll. It examines behavior under the pressure of social forces, as the experiment of Solomon Asch reveals.
The experiment you'll be taking part in today involves the perception of lengths of lines. As you can see here, I have a number of cards, and on each card there are several lines. Your task is a very simple one. You're to look at the line on the left and determine which of the three lines on the right is equal to
Very
it in length.
simple experiment.
All right, we'll proceed in this order. You'll give your answer.
Only one of the people in the group is a real subject, the fifth person with the white t-shirt. The others are confederates of the experimenter and have been told to give wrong answers on some of the trials. The experiment begins uneventfully as subjects give their judgments.
2, 2, 2,
2.
2, 3, 3, 3.
3.
But on the third trial, something happens.
2, 2, 2, 2,
2.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields to group influence.
1.
Asch found subjects went along with the group on 37% of the critical trials. But he found through interviews that they went along with the group for different reasons.
1.
1.
They must be right. There are 4 of them and 1 of me.
1.
This subject's yielding is based on a distortion of his judgment. He genuinely believes that the group is correct.
1. 1.
1.
2. 1. 2. 2. 2.
I know they're wrong, but why
Two.
should I make waves?
2.
In this case, the subject knows he is right, but goes along to avoid the discomfort of disagreeing
Two.
with the group. Here, the distortion is at the level of his response.
2. 2. 2. 2.
In the previous experiment, the naive subject stood alone against the group. In this variation, Ash gave the naive subject a partner, here seated in the third position, who also gives the correct response.
1.
1. 2.
1. 2.
With a partner, yielding drops to only 5% of the critical trials compared to 37%
You
without
can
a
stop it
partner.
now for a second. You can stop it. What do you think of that so far?
I don't know. I've always been the oddball in a group. If everybody wants to go left, I'm gonna go right. I've always been that way. So it's really hard for me to relate to this or to comprehend this because usually I just do what the fuck I want.
Yeah. So basically, the experiment showed that people would obviously see. They would basically bet, like, if everyone agreed that, like, let's say up is down, then they would agree up is down, basically. And that's what basically it's shown. And this is what you're going to see in a lot with mob mentality, with people just basically conforming to groups. Even though they basically, even when it comes to misinformation, when it comes to, like, for instance, when you look at Ryan Upchurch's group. Basically, when Ryan Upchurch was saying, well, it was a GoFundMe scheme, and you saw all these people like, yeah, Ryan, it's really good idea, Ryan, it's a great idea. They were doing, this is exactly like a key point of a mob mentality, of a bunch of people just clearly just agreeing with this guy simply because of the fact that the majority of the mob agreed with him. And yeah, there's some people that will disagree, obviously, and that will not hit here. That's why it's not 100%. But the majority of people will agree with the mob mentality. Thank God, literally the only live tonight that's not making my ears bleed. Oh, well, congratulations. Plus, you guys read a lot of the same stuff I do. Thank you.
Hey, Mopsy. Did
How you doing,
I
Mop?
say that right?
Yeah, you just said it right.
Mopsy. Okay, good. Just making sure.
So, I mean, this is what people don't understand about mob mentality. It can distort one's reality, basically. Makes them just agree to just stuff that is just complete crazy and stupidity. And, if you read the actual study, because then it says that in that next part of the study, that the two people that agree have like some sort of warm feelings towards each other when it came to it. So it was conducted at psychological Solomon Asch of Swarthmore College. The Asch conformity experiments were a series of studies published in the 1950s that could demonstrate the power of conformity in the group. They are also known as the Asch paradigm. In the experiment, students were asked to participate in a group vision test, as you just saw in the video. In reality, all but one of the participants were working for Asch, i.e. the Confederates, and the study was really about how the remaining students would react to their behavior. Now, the method was originally experiment was conducted with 123 male participants. Each participant was put into a group with 5 or 7 Confederates. The participants would be shown a card with a line in reference line and followed by another card with 3 lines and labeled A, B, and C. The participants would then be asked to say out loud which of the 3 lines match. The length reference line as well as the response each, such as the length of the reference line into everyday objects, which lines were the same length, and so on. Each question was called a trial, the real. Participants answered last or next to last. For the first 2 trials, the subjects would feel at ease and the experiment as he and the other participants gave obvious correct answers. On the 3rd trial, all the Confederates would start giving the same wrong answers, and there are 18 trials in total, and the Confederates answered incorrectly for 12 of them. These were known as the critical trials. So the results, Asch basically, through the majority of the people would not conform to something obviously wrong, but the results showed that only 24% of the participants did not conform to any trial, 75% conformed to at least once, 5% conformed every time, and then surrounded by individuals and voicing an incorrect answer, participants provided incorrect responses on how high proportion of the questions. Now let's go to the next. There's still more to the video, but let's continue with the video.
Okay, pressing play. Oh wait, hold on. Hey, Quinton Matters.
How you doing, Quinton?
I'm just seeing who. Hey, Kim. Just catching up with everybody. Okay, pressing play now.
Although subjects report warmth and good feeling toward the partner, they typically deny that he played a role in their own independence. The partnership variation shows that much of the power of the group came not merely from its numbers, but from the unanimity of its opposition. When that unanimity is punctured, the group's power is greatly reduced. Sometimes we go along with a group because what they say convinces us they are right. This is called informational conformity. But sometimes we conform because we are apprehensive that the group will disapprove if we are deviant. This is called normative conformity. The strength of the normative factor is shown in another variation carried out by Ash. In this variation, the subject is told that because he had arrived late, he would have to write his answers. Subjects in this private response experiment are exposed to the same amount of misleading information as other subjects, but they are immune from any possible criticism by the group.
1.
And this enormously reduces the pressure to conform. Conformity drops by 2/3. Ash's experiment is a classic. It reveals how people will deny what they see and submit to group pressure. It allows us not only to observe conformity, but to study the conditions that increase or reduce its occurrence.
Well, basically, another example we go with, the next one is the Stanley-Milgram conformity independence test. This is a very simple test where basically people are just, a person stands in the middle and looks up, and we see if anyone else does the exact same thing, even though there's nothing that they're looking up at, that one person.
Okay, I'm all set on this end.
Yeah. So let me just look at the comments. I feel like when I'm working Zoom forum and everyone's is drawing in chat while the president is talking. But yeah, I mean, I just want to explain what is mob mentality, what is the mob mentality, and then I'm going to explain how a good person can do stupid or bad things. And basically, we're going to play actually the Milgram experiment thing. And this kind of explains the protesters a little bit when they are the people who are just basically in front, because they're all, number one, working with the mob mentality. They're conforming to the mob, the people that are there. And generally, that's the situation that you're seeing. And even though, like, you know, there's some people that disagree, like us, you know, certain people, it's still not, you know, we're the outliners for this group or something like that. So let's play this Stanley-Milgram conformity test.
Okay, pressing play now.
Oh, actually, you know what? Stop it for a moment.
Pausing.
Yeah, play it, my bad. Messed up.
Okay, pressing play now.
So, kind of like these old videos, to be honest with you.
We are all individuals, but we live in a world with other people, and we must often accommodate to them. To what extent can we remain individuals in a social world? What kinds of pressures do others exert on us to conform? And how do we deal with such pressures?
Don't you miss like these old like videos where they just like, this feels like we're in high school right now.
It does feel like one of those high school approved games. I mean, shows that they show you, like driving and stuff.
Like we should do like sex like education, like old 1920s or something like some.
Ranging from 1 to 15 people standing in the street looking up. As they increased the size of the initial crowd, they found that the proportion of passers-by who imitated the looking up response also increased. This is one in a series of experiments we shall examine in this film that show how our behavior is influenced by others. Experiments in conformity and independence.
So that answers why that woman basically would just run at the thing and knock on them, because she thought everyone else was going to conform and do the exact same thing. That's the psychology of it. That's basically one part of it. Now, the next thing is, why would a person do something bad? Why would a good person, let's say a person that generally never would do anything like, twerk in a driveway, or bang on the window to a person's property, and normally does not do that? Then we go to the next thing, which is called the milligram experiment. Now, if if no one knows about that situation, like old movies, there is more content. Yes. So basically, the milligram experiment was performed. Let me just 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up 1 second. Was basically the experiment was performed in Yale University, and it was performed by Stanley Milgram. That's why the experiment was named that. And basically, it was a test whereby you would have the experimenter, which was the person in charge. Then you would have the teacher, which was the person being experimented on. And then you would have the learner, which was the actor, the person that was being electrocuted. Just one moment. Just 1 second. All right, just 1 second. I'm hearing a little background. 1 moment, probably just me. So basically, the test was we're going to start the video of like a little bit of the test right now. Let me just pull it up. Sorry, I was having some feedback with sound. I'm not sure where it's coming from my end. I was just checking if it was actually being... You don't hear any feedback, chat, right? Just making sure, guys.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, it's probably me. I'm hearing like a little shh. I'm not sure if it's me or that. You know how it is. Sometimes it comes in and out. That's why I was like a little hesitant for that second, guys. Sorry about that. But here's the test. It's called the milligram experiment. It's a 1963 test. And basically, this doctor had his family that were, for lack of were affected by World War II and the Nazis. And basically, he saw how the German people, like what would make German people who said they were good, and they said that they just followed orders. Would a person just following orders do evil acts? Would a person who was told, hey, electrocute this person to death, would do it? Now, the test was basically, in 1960, a psychologist, Stanley Milgram, conducted a series of studies on the concept of obedience and authority. His experiments involved instructing the student participants to deliver increasingly high voltage shocks to an actor in another room, which we went through, was the student, and the teacher was the person who was doing the shock. Some people criticize the test of today, but there's been widely used in success. But the participants were told the experiment administering increased powerful electric shocks to another individual, unbeknownst to the participant. Shocks were fake, and the individual being shocked was an actor. The majority of the participants obeyed even when the individual shocked screamed in pain. So we are going to, sounds like a fan. No feedback. Okay. Let's see. Nope. Okay, I'm glad there's no feedback. Yeah, it was very a chilling experiment. So this basically proved, could a good person do a stupid act or a bad act? So here's the experiment. We're going to play the video when you're ready, Tony.
Yeah, which, is it the video you just sent me?
Yeah, it's a 2-minute, 19-second video. It's going to actually show the actual experimentation.
Oh, you sent me the same. Okay, you sent me the same video I have up. Okay, pressing play now.
A decade earlier, psychologist Stanley Milgram had also looked at how we respond to authority. In order to understand how people were induced to obey unjust regimes and participate in atrocities such as the Holocaust, he set up an experiment. Volunteers were told they were taking part in scientific research to improve memory.
Would you open those and tell me which of you is which, please?
This would be fixed.
Separated by a screen, the teacher would ask the learner questions in a word game and administer an electric shock when the answer was incorrect. He was told to increase the voltage with each wrong answer.
Cloud. Horse. Rock. House. Answer. Wrong. 150 volts. Answer. Horse.
Experiment. That's all. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, please.
Continue, please. Go right on.
I refuse to go on. Let me out.
The experiment requires you continue, teacher. Please continue.
Participants didn't know that the learner was really an actor, and the so-called shocks harmless.
You're gonna get a shock. 180 volts.
180 volts.
I can't stand the pain. Let me out of here.
Can't stand it. I'm not gonna kill that man, eh? I mean, who's gonna take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman? I'm responsible for anything that happens here. Continue, please. All right, next one. Slow. Walk, dance, truck, music.
Two-thirds of volunteers were prepared to administer a potentially fatal electric shock when encouraged to do so by what they perceived as a legitimate authority figure. In this case, a man in a white coat.
375 volts. I think something's happened to that fellow in there. I don't get no answer. He was hollering for less voltage. Can't you check in and see if he's all right, please?
Milgram's findings horrified America. They showed that decent American citizens were as capable of committing acts against their conscience as the Germans had been under the Nazis.
So what did you think of that, Tony?
It's just weird to me.
Yeah, so basically the test was, let me just pull it up. I can barely hear it, B. That's it. Okay, let me see. You can't hear it. The sound. I have seen this before. You can barely hear them, Sue. All right. I was just checking if there was any issues with sound. It shows that people will conform when given a bit of power. Absolutely. Just give me one moment. I'm just checking my audio. 1 second, guys.
It could be just my desk fan.
Maybe you shut off. Maybe you shut off the desk fan because I'm hearing like some sort of sound.
If I do that, we're gonna crash. So okay. It's the same fan I've always had on though, so I don't know why it's doing it now.
Yeah, I've never heard it before, but it could be me. But anywho, let's continue. But basically, the milligram experiment was, the whole thing was, in the most well-known version of Stanley Milligram experiment, the 40 male participants were told that the experiment focused on relationship between punishment, learning, and memory. The experimenter then introduced each participant to a second individual, explaining that the second individual was participating in a study as well. Participants were told that they would be randomly assigned roles of teacher-learner. However, the second individual was an actor. So every time the learner was the actor, it was a fixed. So the person being experimented was the teacher, the guy who was electrocuting the person. During the study, the learner was located in a separate room from a teacher, the real participant, but the teacher would hear the learner through the wall. The experiment told the teacher that the learner would memorize word pairs and instructed the teacher to ask the learner questions. If the learner responded incorrectly to the question, the teacher would be asked to administer electric shock. The shock started at a relatively mild level, 15 volts, but increased 15 volts increments up to 450 volts. In actuality, the shocks were fake, but the participants were led to believe they were real. Participants were instructed to give higher shocks to the learner with each wrong answer, and when 150 volt shocks were administered, the learner would cry out in pain and ask to leave the study. He would then continue crying out each shock until 330 volts level, at which point he would stop responding. The process, whenever a participant expressed hesitation about continuing with the study, the experimenter would urge them to go on with increasingly firm instruction, culminating these statements: "You have no other choice." This is what the instructor would say. "You must go on." The study ended when the participant refused to obey the experimenter in demand, or when they gave the learner the highest level of shock on the machine, which is 450 volts. The Milligren found that the participants obeyed the experiment at an unexpectedly high rate of 65%. Participants that gave the learner the 450 volt shock. So what is 400? Let me see. So 450 volt is certainly enough to deliver a fatal current, but it needs to be sustained. So basically, they gave a current that can kill people. And all the main thing they said was basically because it was a Yale person, it was Yale, and that basically there was no incentive. They could have walked away with the $4 even if they stopped right there. And also the guy had a lab coat. So that was the main reason why they basically just obeyed this guy. Let me see.
Real quick, they are setting off fireworks. God, I hope they're fireworks. So if you guys hear bangs in the background, that is me.
Yeah, so she's saying the video part. Let me look into the video part, because I was able to hear the video part. Maybe you should... Yeah, I was able to hear it. Maybe you just have to make it louder.
Make
next
what
time.
louder?
The video for that one. Make it a little bit louder. When we play it. I totally understand the Nazi brainwashing and how many become followers. Yeah, and it happens strangely even today. I mean, think about this much. We have an online space where a bunch of people get social media information about a case. They form a mob. They basically they don't listen to, because the mob agrees to a certain fact, the majority of the mob agrees to a certain set of facts. They all proceed to think they're justified in their actions because of this information, and then they proceed to do things because they think of someone else. Now, who are the authority figures of this Quinton thing? Well, the authority figures would probably be like Dolly or Betty. They would be like, they act like they know it all. They basically pretend that they have this understanding that they've gone in for all these missing kids, and they basically egg on the protesters, basically. That is why I brought up these two examples. Yeah, that's why I brought up these two examples. You have a situation where you have individuals that claim they are the authority. Also, you have the police that basically said that this person's guilty, another authority figure. And then you have the mob mentality that basically gets information and just kind of become the mob. And basically just follow what one person does and the majority does. And that's what you get. That's the formula of this whole mob. That's the formula of why this whole situation is occurring. Now, I mean, and this is kind of a big problem because you see it in a lot of situations. The mob formed with the Ryan Upchurch situation when you had a lot of people that believed Ryan when he said it was a GoFundMe scheme, that Kylie Rodney wasn't a corpse, that basically was just another corpse grabbed from a place, stuck in the car, planted there, and the whole thing was so they can make GoFundMe money so they become multimillionaires. And that actually Kylie that we all were looking at the pictures was actually some Kylie with the C instead of with a K, and that basically the whole situation was just a big scheme to get GoFundMe money. But the majority of people, and we all thought that was crazy, and you saw a lot of people say this is nuts, but there was a lot of people that believed that, and it was all because the group mentality all believed, they all conformed, because number one, Ryan had over 3 million subs, had a lot of fans, and thus a lot of people that just were willing to accept his version of reality on this.
Well, you know what they say. For every pot, there is a lid.
Yeah. So I just want to... Now, I guess the next part we can watch is the interview. The infamous interview that I did, which is here. I'll toss it to you, Tony. Now, here's part one. And you can actually play it like 2 times fast or something like that. I don't think we need to play it slow. Let me just play it on 2 times fast. And if you guys have any questions or any comments, just point it out. If you feel like I'm wrong or you feel like you have a question, please pose it. Let me see.
We're frustrated because watching...
So this is the interview with that Kimberly person. I didn't want to play the news report because it says her full name. I think most people know her full name. I don't really want to keep on saying the woman's full name, to be honest with you, because I think she's embarrassed as it is.
We already know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, we already know. We don't need to broadcast it more.
Yeah, and I think she's being embarrassed as it is because
Yeah.
she's been through. She's on public news right now. Like she's on channel. You can actually see her face being identified on a news channel. So I don't think we need to do it. So this is me on. You got it put up. The protester tells her story. Betty made us do it. Okay. Now I will say this disclaimer. I did not do the greatest job. I think I did an okay job. Maybe a slow. A lot of people said I talked too much. Whatever, criticism. But I think in the end of the day, I was just trying to get this lady to, tell her story and not just yell at her and then throw her off the panel and scream at her. So it is a tough situation. So it's a balance act. So yeah, could I have done a little things better? Absolutely. Am I a pro at this? No, absolutely not. But here you go. We'll play it. So the guy with the tomato avatar is me. Obviously, Queen Bee is the lady with the pink thing. Sweet Tea is there as well. You have the person with the K is the Kim person. And basically, I forgot who I think that's Captain Napkin.
Who is this? What is this name? Tragedy Pimps? What?
Tragedy Pimps Exposed.
Okay,
It's
so
a clip show.
credit goes to them, but also goes to Queen Bee as well, since this is her content, so spread it around. And I sped it up a little bit. And
yeah, we're gonna do it 2 times speed. If it's too fast for you guys, let me know.
Well, it was too fast, so I didn't do it 2 times. I just sped it up a little.
Oh, well, you got a 1.5 or 1.
It was like 1.75.
Okay, so you have it at 1.75. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, pressing play now.
We're frustrated because watching it on and it being near my hometown.
This is Sweet Tea.
Okay.
How you doing?
Okay.
Can you hear Savage Mama?
Wait, hold on, pausing it. They sped it up in this video, so we're
okay. Let's play it. Let's play it just regular speed. Let's play it 1.25.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. Because if they sped it up and we sped it up, y'all are gonna just hear chipmunks. Okay, so
chipmunks.
So
it's kind of funny to hear Sweet Tea as a chipmunk. But,
hey, Lighting.
How you doing, Lighting?
Okay.
Let's play it. Wait, how many seconds do you got?
17.
17. All right, let me just go a little back. Okay, I'm ready to play.
All right, pressing play now.
Okay, must be Kimberly. Okay, Savage Mama, you're up here, but you're up here, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, you can talk, Cappy.
Okay, Kimberly. So I have 3 questions. Okay, so
this is Cappy.
Was this your first protest in a case?
Yes, ma'am. In my first arrest.
Okay, and then
hold on. Pausing it again. It's still too fast. So we're just gonna go normal.
Okay.
We're just gonna go normal because they sped it up already. We shouldn't sped it up. So I'm at 36 seconds.
Okay.
And pressing play now.
You were doxxed on Facebook. Like how though? Like, cause don't you use your full government name on your account? Like, what did she show your house or something like that?
She showed where I lived.
Okay. Okay. Now I get what you mean now. Okay. Okay. And also, I want to know. Okay, you say that you didn't know that they were YouTubers. What did you think they were doing with all their camera equipment? Because I know Olivia carries around there's footage of her, like doing her documentary footage. Even you know what I mean. So I know she brings on a lot of tripods and all that stuff. So what did you think that was?
I thought they were just maybe just locals trying to get more views and stuff. But I feel like they should have came up to me and be like, "Hey, I'm famous YouTube." I just thought because I didn't know because I don't watch YouTube. My son watches YouTube, so I don't know.
When they're talking to their cameras, though, who do you think they're talking to?
I think she knew they were. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was that?
When they're talking to their cameras, live streaming, who do you think they were talking to? Though? Like Facebook or something, or
someone's Alexa.
No, see, the only person
I
just watch Mari on Facebook Live because I don't know much about YouTube.
Okay.
I'm
Are you playing the video?
I didn't
yeah,
know.
I'm playing the video.
I don't see it on the YouTube end.
I didn't actually really know that.
Can you stop it for a moment?
I see it on the YouTube end. Pausing it. Yeah, it's working on the YouTube end.
Maybe it's just me. I paused it one moment because I'm dumb. All right, yeah, it's on the YouTube end, and it was paused by me.
Okay. All right. Pressing play now.
Okay.
Oh, I think I get what you're saying. You didn't know that they had a following to
a big following is what she's saying.
They had you didn't know they had a larger following and that they make money hand over fist like they do.
Yeah. I have 2 questions. One is basically why did you touch the glass? Were you encouraged by the group or by any YouTubers to do that, or why did you just do that?
Basically everybody, and honestly, I take full responsibility for what I did. But the thing was, everybody was supposed to run with me at the same time, and when I ran, somebody else ran too. But they ran back first, and then everybody left, and I was the last one there.
Oh, okay.
Were you? Oh, sorry, Big Tim.
You go, Sweet. You go, Sweet. Yeah, you go.
Were you the one out there twerking?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm from Georgia, and I'm actually from South Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I have an issue, and I don't think I'm being ugly. Please do not take this as me being mean. I promise I'm not. But I have an issue with
Sweet
y'all
Tea was
thinking,
very pissed
what
off
good is
because
this
this
doing?
embarrassed
Because
her
y'all
because she's
thought,
from
I
the
mean,
next
are y'all
state.
thinking about the neighbors? Are y'all thinking about the kids that have to go to school the next day? The person that's next door that's at the end of their life, that they are actually dying in hospice and they wanted to stay home and they're having to hear this? Or y'all stopping
or
to
the
think?
investigation, you could be
Right. Or you
fingers.
could be, you're putting more stress on the cops for having to be out there. I mean, I'm from Georgia, and honestly, I'm going to be bluntly honest. I have gotten pissed off watching it because I know this is not how we act. And so, can you explain some of that? I know I asked a bunch of questions at one time.
You got to ask one at a time, honestly. You can't, like, she has
Okay,
to
so
answer
I'll
one.
start with the neighbors. Honestly,
You can stop it for one moment.
the neighbors really haven't had a problem.
You can stop it.
Pausing.
Okay, so the reason why I interfered at that moment because she was asking too many questions. You have to ask one at a time because if you ask like 3 or 4 questions, you're never going to get an answer because, you know what I mean? Like you have to ask like, okay, did you walk outside? Yes. The answer would be yes. Where did you go? I went to the store. Okay, what did you buy at the store? I bought a pack of cigs. You know what I mean? Like that.
They're not trained, Do you get what I'm saying? So I get what she was doing.
Yeah. And I think like basically she's like, okay, were you even thinking about the kids basically when you're twerking at like 10 o'clock at night and you're screaming?
She's angry. I don't blame her. I'm pissed off too.
So she was very unjustified, and she was justifiably angry. There's no doubt about it. But you're trying to get like information. So and then you heard in the beginning basically. How you doing, Seal? You heard in the beginning basically she ran out there and she was running with the other people. So she basically had the social group. She was conforming to the social group. They all agreed that they were going to do it, but basically she was like the last person there, just like, the person.
What are you, a 14-year-old girl in high school that has to fit into the popular kids? Think for your fucking self. These people don't care about you.
Tony, we just watched a video about the people conforming.
I know, but the thing is, though, at what age do you go, maybe I'm not going to conform? Like, maybe
I don't think, I think, to be honest with you, Tony, I'm going to push back at you a little bit. I think even though people get, we're seeing that more and more with social media, with a lot of people just basically conform to groups a lot of times. And I think,
hey, Tammy.
How you doing, Tammy? Even people, I'm more crazy stuff going on. This is what happens when big groups comes together. And I was staying home on this day of the dead and with any other large groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just think, basically, yeah, she shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have been doing that. Absolutely dumb move. I think she's actually affected the investigation. I think, any defense attorney's going to see her, all these people harassing
Quinton matters. I don't think that they were partying at the bar, but I do know for a fact that these protesters were partying outside a dead kid's house. Let's be real for a second. They were screaming out medications, drinks, beers, having pizza. Is this, nobody is right in this situation. Why pick a fucking side? Both of them are fucking wrong.
Yeah, my opinion about that whole situation with the bar is basically, I think, a defense attorney probably would have told her not to do that. But their excuse was, and this is their end of the story, that they were hungry and they wanted to go out to eat because what's happening is the protesters were stopping any sort of food deliveries coming to the house, basically. And it was getting to the point where they just wanted to go out and have something to eat. Now, was it smart? Was it smart for looks-wise? If you're doing a defense?
No, but they went to an Applebee's. It's not like they went to Club Hell.
Yeah. But that's the perspective.
On.
That's the perspective some people have. That's why people were saying that they were partying. And also you have the social media that basically says they're partying.
Is there video of them partying, or is this all
There's a photo. I think there's a photo of her at that place, and also someone said that she was actually hitting on one of the waiters. That's what I heard. Can I confirm that she was hitting on one? Can I confirm that she was hitting on do I have receipts of that? No, I don't. Maybe someone does, and I just don't. But that's what I've heard. Thank you for the reminder.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mind you, y'all, we do not condone anything that this woman has done. We are not supporting her whatsoever. Me personally, Tony, I think that everybody in this situation, including the protesters, including the family, y'all be acting stupid. Y'all just stupid. Just stupid. And the reason why y'all are there right now protesting with your cameras and stuff is because you want fucking money. You want fucking people to like your videos and to watch. And let's face it, us as humans are horrible people. We like to watch a train wreck. We like to watch chaos unfold. We like to watch this shit. And it sucks. And they know, and this is the thing, Blowhorn Betty knows this, markets off of this, and creates more problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, train wreck. People like to watch it.
I mean, me personally, if I had a perfect world, I'd probably have told the family, don't go on any YouTube channels and talk to anyone. And I would tell people not to interfere with the police investigation, let the police gather the evidence, and then, throw the person who did this crime into jail for life. Or other means that might not be YouTube friendly to say. My feelings about volcanoes and certain people that, hurt kids and hurt women and also murder.
We have no mercy for people who harm children.
Yeah,
Just say that.
Yeah, I have absolutely. I think like the death sentence. That's my thought process.
Yes.
So if I had a perfect world and we found out the person actually killed Quinton, they would be going to the death sentence.
But wouldn't it be crazy? I would... Wouldn't it be crazy if it wasn't the mother?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. We need the evidence. And that's the thing. Like, if I'm going to be that severe where I feel like that person deserves to go or goes to jail for life, I would like to be 90% sure or 80-something% sure. Because I don't want to have the situation where people get like 60% sure and then thrown in jail or for life or get killed. You know what I mean? Like, there's, we need, because that could happen to your relative, that can happen to me. So we need a system. And even though it's an imperfect system, no one says it's a perfect justice system. Unfortunately, guilty people get off, innocent people get thrown in jail all the time. It's the best we got right now, unfortunately. Until we get the truth machine that actually reads our brains and tells us if they're lying or not, like a true machine, and we're going to have to deal with this type of system. And we just have to let the officers do their job. But I believe the YouTubers and all these protesters are interfering with this investigation. And I think, unfortunately, due to this, it's going to be a field day for a defense attorney. Even if they hire like a free attorney, it's going to be a field day for them. They're going to get off. Like, I honestly, they're going to say everything. They probably have a good chance of getting off, unfortunately.
And
unless they find the body.
Responding to Seal, I don't think any of them are going to feel stupid by doing this until the outcome comes out. And this is the thing, too. If all evidence points to Quinton's mother, it's just going to give them validation to do this to the next case and the next case. And they're going to go to a house where the parents are absolutely fucking innocent, that there's miscommunication, maybe poor judgment on the police side or something, I don't know. And they're going to do actual harm. What people are not understanding is they're outside somebody's house in a neighborhood with kids. There's a person dying next door.
Yeah, it wasn't Applebee's, by the way.
Well, I'm just giving an example of, like, in Applebee's, it has, like, a bar in it. Like that. I don't know, but it's like an Applebee's. I don't know. Either way, they went out to eat, and people are always when you already target a person, you're already going to think the worst of them. You're going to look at a picture and be like, yeah, she was flirting with that waiter, and she had like a whole scorpion bowl to herself. Like, it was insane. Where's the proof? One picture? Is there a video?
Well, there's a picture. I don't know if there's an actual. There's no video of her in the bar, I think. But
okay, so no proof.
I mean, like, basically, either or, I would probably, if I was her defense attorney, I would have probably told her, don't go to a bar and eat out.
Oh, okay. You're talking about a different case, aren't you, Quinton Matters?
No, he's talking about this case with this woman. They went out to eat at Talabi's. They actually went out to eat. They drank a little bit, I think, and then basically they left. Basically, that's what a lot of people criticized, because they thought it was a very bad move to go out and start drinking. Now, if I was her defense attorney, I'd probably say, don't do that, and just stay at home, because that would probably look better for you in that situation, just saying. Yeah, $300 food, only for two people. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, how much is it? I don't know how much it is.
I just don't care. What I care about is that they're in a neighborhood twerking, running up to somebody's house, banging windows. There's a man that's literally on hospice that all he wants to do is spend the rest of his dying life in his home, and y'all forced him out of it. Like, what is wrong with you? You're not even giving a dying man any fucking respect whatsoever. You guys are
Yeah.
acting like fucking animals.
Yeah, and you're fucking up an investigation.
I don't fucking care where they went out to eat. I don't fucking care. Let the police do their job.
Yeah. Let's play the video. Let's continue.
Okay, pressing play.
Problem with it at all.
What?
The ones
Yeah,
that have talked to you, the ones that have talked to you,
they've had a
we've
problem.
been in contact with a lot of neighbors that had a huge problem
I
with
call
it.
bullshit
are
on
very intimidated
this.
by the whole thing and don't want to be the next target if they spoke
No,
out.
it's,
Right.
it's probably the old man that tried to get me on his lawn just so he could shoot me.
No, it's more than
Well-
one neighbor. We've had like 6 or 7 or 8.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
can I say
We're not
something?
attacking. Wait.
Bullshit
I want her
again.
to finish
But
that.
Cappy's
Hold
doing
on,
well.
B10.
That, like-
We're not attacking. Please don't think we're attacking you. But we're frustrated because
Cappy's
watching
doing
it
well with
home
that,
and
with
it being
those
my home, near my
questions.
hometown. I was living.
We don't
so,
act like that.
No. So what? But why? I mean, what possessed you to get in front of a light and twerk? I'm just wondering this stuff. I mean, what made you think that it's okay?
Because I wanted to, basically.
Were you like?
But wait, hold on, B10. But you've got kids at home. If you really wanted to help, this is my opinion.
Yeah, she's
If you want to help, raise your kids not to end up like this. Try to make it
my
where they.
my son's greatly taken
Right,
care
hold
of.
on, I'm gonna
And I-
pause. Real quick, just to point it out. I totally agree with going to go protest. That is your American right. You have that freedom. But to act a mess like these people have been is not okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, let me explain it. I'm going to explain it, Quint, but I would want to know if there was... The thing is, I'm going to say this. There's a memorial for Quinton. There's a memorial for Quinton there. And it's disrespectful to the memorial to do these things. It's disrespectful to Quinton's memory to do these things near the memorial. It's also disrespectful about what they're saying. Now, what they're doing is, like, Dolly's got it into their brains, and Betty, that they're going to force this confession out of them by, like, this psychological warfare. They're attacking them mentally. They're playing children music, and they're shooting, like, lights at them, and they're dancing, and they're screaming Lalani and stuff like that. The problem is, let's say they are successful. Let's say they're 100% successful. She comes out, she admits that she murdered her kid. Well, unless she leads them to a body and does that, I mean,
That's why
I
you
don't
have
see.
to let the police do their job.
But the problem is, it's going to be considered a forced confession. And it's going to be like, they're going to say, well, this woman went through mental torture and it was terrible. Also, I feel like it's disrespectful. If you want to be there and kind of like do a respectful memorial, or you want to like do something like that, that's fine. I also don't think the protest is appropriate there because it's not enacting any change. It's not going after CPS. It's not going after the police chief. If you're like angry at the police not arresting her, okay, she's not going to turn herself in if she's a criminal. Most likely, you're going to have to protest the police. You know, to say, hey, what the fuck? You said she's the main suspect. We demand answers. Why the fuck is she not being arrested? You go to the police.
They're not protesting at the police because this is how they protest. They know damn well if they went to the police station or CPS and protested like wild fucking animals, that they would all be in jail. So they're taking advantage of the situation. And honestly, I wish the cops would step the fuck up.
Yeah, but wait. The problem is the cops have been going there constantly and constantly picking up. They arrested 5 people, I think, so far. Now, for Quinton's response, Twerkers and Dolly's disrespects behavior is no reason to throw all the protesters under the bus. Did you see the one where Dolly called it a block party and a bunch of people were line dancing in front of, like, I'm talking about line dancing in front of Quinton's memorial with lights and music on, like it was a party?
Here's my thing, and I've said this before, and I said it about cops when we had a discussion with cops. If there are 99 good cops in your precinct, okay? There's 99 good cops, but there's one bad cop that fucks up, takes its gun out, that does stupid shit, is racist, is horrible, is just a horrible person, and those 99 good cops turn a blind eye and say nothing, there's 100 bad cops. And I'm saying the same thing for this. There could be 99 good protesters. There could be. But that one protester that makes this chaos, and you allow it to happen? No. No.
I mean, like, realistically, but yeah, and then what he's basically saying is, and I'm sorry for interpreting, you're basically saying that, like, you're allowing these people to do it. The other protesters should have been like, listen, this is a very serious matter. This is about a 20-month-old that's dead. Let's not make a joke about it. This kid is dead. Maybe it's like there's a good chance his mother, you know, is the prime suspect of this case. Let's try to be respectful to the neighbors, be respectful to this kid's memory, and try to, like, just hold her, you know, if you want to be like a constant reminder, you can just be like, show her a picture silently. Just basically, or if you just want to go, if you're tired and you want to arrest her, go to the precinct. If you want the mayor to do something, go to the mayor. Dolly didn't even go to the city hall meeting. There was actually a city hall meeting. He could have went with Betty and could have went there with the protesters and said, hey, we demand justice. What's going on in Chatham County is a real full of shit. You guys are all full of shit. You know, that type of deal. But she didn't. They went for the laziest content, which is basically yelling at a house.
Yeah, because apparently that's what people do now in the missing children's community. And I think it all started because of the Gabriel, what's her name? Gabby Petito thing. With that blowhorn person there, and it was just making... And it just escalated. It just escalated and escalated. And now it's people twerking, knocking on the windows in houses, playing on loud sound systems, a baby crying, okay? Disturbing the neighborhood. Like, what did the neighbors ever do to you? Could Quinton's mom be... Hold on. Could Quinton's mom be completely fucking guilty? Absolutely. Do I think so? Yeah. There's a part of me that thinks it. But I'm going to wait until the police do their job and do so. Yeah. And if I do not like the pace that the police is doing their jobs, believe me, I wouldn't be protesting at the house. I'd be protesting at the police station.
Now, I'm not calling you out, Quentin. I'm really not. But I saw the video with her twerking, and those people were encouraging her. They said, get it going, girl. I need to pull up the video, but I watched it on live.
Yeah, because weak people encourage stupid people to do stupid things because they're too weak to do it themselves. They're not brave enough. Just like her running up and knocking on the windows.
Yeah, so I did see, like, they were encouraging her. They encouraged her, and they did not say, hey, girl, stop doing that. Don't start twerking in the middle of the driveway. Mm-hmm. So that was not good. Obviously. So, I mean, like, I'm just trying to tell you, they were encouraging it. They didn't say, listen, girl, you're not supposed to be twerking. Matter of fact, I can actually show you the video. This is Savage Live, and this is content for stuff. By the way, I don't agree with Savage Live, what you said about, you know, so, but I am going to use this video to show you why I you know, be encouraged.
No, I want it to be really clear. We're not blaming Blowhorn Betty for everything.
No.
Okay, first of all, apparently the mob mentality is working because even people on YouTube who are watching this are defending Betty. That's what she wants. She wants you to join her team. Okay, think for yourself. We're not blaming all of it on Betty. There are people out there in this protest that are thinking on their own, but they're thinking the wrong things and getting arrested. What, 5 people got arrested?
Yeah.
In
5
total?
people got arrested.
And is that including her? Because that's 6.
Yeah, no, I could change today. It could be 6 today. But I know the total today is 5. But I could be wrong. The number's increasing by the day. And I'm just referring because and I'm not calling you out. I actually appreciate you commenting. I'm not going to censor you. Whatever agreements or disagreements, I don't mind it because you've been polite so far, so we're cool. The police, let me see.
Do you want me to rewind that? It's only a 3-minute video. I'll just speed it up just a tad.
Yeah, just play it. And I want you to show them, like, about twerking, basically. And just show what the crowd does. And tell me if they're condemning her of her actions right now, twerking at the car.
Well, this is the thing, Quinton, matters. You have freedom of speech. Absolutely, we all do. We all do. We also have freedom of opinion, and we also are not free from consequences of what we say and do.
Yeah, I mean, what basically I'm saying is that you are free to voice your opinion and disagreement, but you have to think about what are you going to... Hi, Forever Trolling. The Tomato Man. You have to think about, like, what these actions are going to do. I mean, like, I think it's a very... I mean, like, there's laws passed in Florida not to do this in residential neighborhoods. I mean, I feel like...
That's Florida. Y'all, that's Florida.
Yeah, I mean, and that's because of Betty. And I feel like this tactic could be used on other people. You know what I mean? Unfairly. Even though I'm 60% sure Leilani did it. You know, I'm just my opinion of the case. Yeah. But I still don't want to have a situation where we live a world where YouTubers go to a person's house, ante up a crowd of people, and then social media antes up the rest to just basically do crazy shit like this. I think that's not a good world I want to live in. That seems like a place where vigilante justice is occurring and not freedom of speech. I think that's not. I don't want to have a situation like that, and I'm trying to voice that we can't join the mob mentality. And listen, I've been in the mob mentality too. I've been in situations where, and it doesn't matter how smart you are or how wise you think you are, everyone will get caught in a mob mentality thought process. There is no way that someone has never been in a situation where they've not conformed to a group think, because that is not true. It happens. But the most important thing is you have to recognize when you're doing it. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to educate people to recognize the mob mentality, to recognize the psychological science behind it, and recognize even good people can do bad things. Even good people can mess up and do bad and messed up things if there's a person of authority that says, hey, this is a good idea, or a group mentality says, hey, we should all do it. But yeah, that's my thought process.
Yeah, and if anything, when it comes to Blowhorn, Betty, and Dolly, who have a good, strong subscription, they have like a lot of people following them. Like, I would expect more of them to be like, hey, we should not be doing this. Hey, we should not be. That's what I expect.
Hi, Deeds. I see it, and I'm saying, like, I kind of agree with how is that possible? I don't know what your question is for that one, but I'm about to say, yeah, people have forgot about Quinton.
I've been saying that off the fucking hook for the last 2 videos. It's not even about Quinton anymore. Because even in the news, all you see is the protesting. That's all you see. When you look up Quinton, you see this shit. That is horrible. There is a baby missing. And I'm sorry. You can call me stupid. You can call me whatever you want. I'm still holding out hope that somebody has him. And he's alive. And he's okay. And he's safe. I'm going to hold that out until they find the body. I'm sorry. But yeah, I've been preaching that since the last video. I'm tired of preaching it because nobody fucking understands it.
And that's a sad thing. People have forgotten about Quinton, and you're absolutely right. Both sides, like we have people that are going, like, who are defending, who are trying to stop this from happening because they see this as destroying the investigation. Like Queen Bee and other people, they're saying this is destroying the investigation. This is destroying the possibility of finding justice for Quinton, because a lot of people believe he is dead, and they want to make sure the person who actually did this goes to jail for life.
Oh, I hope whoever did this, whether it's the mother or not, or the father or whoever, I hope they get death.
Yeah, I don't know about
death penalty,
but yeah,
I'm just saying.
But the thing is that great powers and great responsibilities, making Marvel quote. Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, and I feel like the cops are wasting their time constantly coming down here and doing this. It's wasting time. Think about every time a cop comes down there, that could have been someone being like searched for Quinton.
Hey, Jasmine.
That could be. Hi, Jasmine. That could be anything like that. So, you know what I mean? Like, I get you saying that you're defending freedom of speech, and I agree to freedom of speech, but I think this is just wrong, and I think it's taken away from Quinton. I think if we didn't have this whole protest thing, and you were focusing on maybe interviewing the neighbors, or like, trying to figure out, or like interviewing the police and being like, hey, we demand answers. Why is this woman not arrested? What is the case? What's going on with the case? Maybe, but I'm a little iffy with the neighbors thing because that might be messing with potential witnesses. But the point is that
you're not a police officer, so don't do it.
Yeah,
that's the thing, though. Leave it to the professionals. You want to protest? Go protest, but don't be a fucking animal. There's a child missing.
Yeah, and let's play the video just to show that they were actually encouraging her, and then we'll go back to the interview.
And also, we're not saying that. Whatever his name, Dolly. We're not saying Dolly or Blowhorn Betty encouraged it. We don't know. Blowhole, whatever. I don't. Blowhorn, right? Blowhorn. Yes, Betty was encouraging anything. We're just saying if they were there, we just hope that they would have been the first people to say, no, that's fucked up and disrespectful. Go back. You don't belong here. This is for Quinton.
Yeah. And I've heard Perplex. Perplex believes that like 50, they're responsible 50% when they've gone there, and now they're not responsible because they're full-grown adults. But when I later on thought about her line, I thought to myself, is a match responsible for a fire? If it starts the fire? Yes. The match is responsible for the fire if it starts the fire. Yeah, there's dry wood and paper there, and there's conditions for that fire to start. But, and if there isn't there, then there's not going to be a fire. But the match is responsible for setting the fire up. So I consider Betty and Dolly the match, basically. And I consider
But
the whole situation.
Quinton matters. My main point is that a dysfunctional drug addict family does not deserve sympathy. No, they don't. They don't. And I'm not giving them sympathy. I'm just saying that the true crime missing children's community right now look like fools.
Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference. If they are found guilty, I don't wish them any mercy. People who know me on this show, and I've been doing this for years, do you honestly think that I'm going to give anybody who harms a child mercy? No. Absolutely not. But I'm not going to sit here and not make, reactions to what stupid people do. Are you serious? No.
Yeah,
they're acting like animals. Yeah.
I'm going to run to the bathroom and you play the video and let them see it.
Okay, we're gonna play the video, and this is the whole twerking thing.
So you see that they are actually encouraging her to do it. So, just so I can clear that out for you.
Calling me, please.
Play now.
Come on, right here. Right your trucking, play Lonnie. Your trucking, play Lonnie, and in that truck. Right now, right here.
It's like they're squaring up for a fight.
Hey, take notes. Take notes. Why are you going? No, I told you. This is what I stand for.
Which one?
Take them around the corner, or you can leave.
Mirtazapine,
I'll take
clonidine, and risperidone.
No, you
I'll take
what
you
I
home.
stand for.
I'll take you home no matter where you
What I
live.
stand for, so get out. Thank you. Get out.
And a nausea pill. That's it.
Justice for quick.
Pausing it real quick. Quinton. But we're not a part of the missing community, the missing children's community. Sometimes we will post things, obviously, to share and help out. But we are a gaming and reacting channel. And we do true crime that has happened in the past. Like, that's already solved. Like, we're not a part of that community. You should talk to the community themselves then. We're just reacting to it.
Tammy says yes. Thank you for replying.
Y'all let them arms now.
Pausing it real quick. This is the thing. There's a lot of people there. They could have done an independent search with the okay with the police. They could have been searching around the facility, not interfering with evidence or anything. They have a big group here. They could be doing that. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and they could be spreading posters around. They could be doing a lot of things to help. Their feet on the ground. Like if you looked at Ariel Kalua, and I'm saying this to I'm just looking at the gentleman, Quentin Matters. And by the way, Quentin Matters has been very respectful, and I like his. I'm respectful to people, respectful to me, and I think I'm glad he's here. If you look at Area Sellers, they went to CPS. They put posters out. There was all the like feet on the ground were doing the work. They weren't just standing in front of the Kalua's house. The people that murdered. Now I'm 99% murdered Area Sellers.
Oh, they did.
They went out and they actually put their feet on the ground. They put posters up. They did peaceful protests in front of CPS. That's how a protest is supposed to be, in my opinion. Areas, which we showed in last video, Area Sellers, who is like the Kaluas are still awaiting a trial, and basically it's still going, and it's been like almost a year. It's crazy. What games we playing, VTM? No games today. Tammy, they are searching for a landfill for him. Yeah, they're searching for him in the landfill because they believe that the body was disposed in a dumpster and then delivered to the landfill. And it's a very, very tough job they're doing, those police officers, because they have to go through garbage. And, and I imagine the smell, and imagine combing through every piece of garbage. It's a terrible thing. So, maybe they could have, those people might have been able to go out there and give them meals, maybe. Maybe like give some appreciation to these officers working like almost 8-hour days or so, combing through garbage to look for maybe like.
That's what they did with Ariel too. They the community got together for the search parties, and they would, do like not a cookout, because cookout sounds like it's partying, but they would, make burgers and stuff, keep them fed. Update everybody. Like they had like a community, a gathering of people who cared. And Quinton Matters. What we do on this show is what we do, and I'm sorry if you don't like our content, but we kind of do what the fuck we want. Not
Yeah,
to
well,
be
just,
rude.
yeah, well, that's Tony. He's Zero-Matic. That's why the show's called Zero-Matic. Uh, I know that, but why not do a videos asking why Cher is befriending Billy Joe and lying to the lie? Listen, I don't know jack shit about Cher, to be completely honest with you. I don't follow her content because I particularly didn't like how she was covering the Kylie Rodney case. And I don't like those types of content, and I just really don't really like. I know the audio that was released on Savage Media about uh, the possible relationship with Dolly and this some sort of secret thing. But the thing is that I don't know one. I'm a little cynical of the recording because the fact is that Betty's making this huge confession to Fueled by Coffee, which if you know Fueled by Coffee, she lied about the Zav girl situation. She's kind
Mind
of
you,
like
I'm going to cut you off real quick. Mind you, I have no idea about this. I just do reactions. But Tim is very into the community.
yeah. But let me continue.
But I don't. I have no idea. So I'm learning with you guys. So let's
Yeah.
go.
Basically, like Fuel the Coffee, I don't know if she's editing it out. I don't trust Fuel the Coffee. I couldn't trust Fuel the Coffee as far as I can throw her. Okay, I don't trust anything that comes out of her mouth. She lied to me about this Av girl. She continues to lie about other things, and she seems to be one that is constantly trying to get attention. So I don't believe. I'm very cynical of anything that comes out with her voice in it. Unfortunately. And honestly, I don't really care for Cher. I didn't like the fact that she was interviewing the mother in the. I get why she did it. I think I said like one of my lines was that I believe that Billy Joe would have went live anyway. But honestly, if I was a YouTuber and she was talking to me about that, I would have said, hang up the phone, do not pick up this phone and go on YouTube and start streaming yourself in the middle of the yard. Stay at home and get
They're
a lawyer.
not safe. But this is the thing though. They're putting themselves out there. Like, what happens if a car comes by and doesn't see them? Because I've seen a lot of dark videos. Like, I don't want these. As much as I dislike these protesters right now, I don't want to see them hurt. I don't want to see them. What happens if a neighbor just finally has enough? Like, I don't want to see anybody hurt. And they're just putting themselves. There's so much more you can do with your time than this. There really is. There's other options. I want you to use this energy that you have right here and bring it to CPS. They should have done something. Bring it to the police station. Maybe if you guys were really hot on this and you put that fire to the police station and bringing the media to the police station, then people are going to go, huh, why isn't the police arresting her? Why aren't they doing their job? Why are they taking so long? Why are they waiting for a body? It makes other people question it. You have power in social media. You do. Why waste it on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Protesters. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
quit. There's nothing. I understand it, but I don't want anybody to think we're picking sides. I want Quinton to be found safe. I want it to be a misunderstanding. Maybe the father's brother's uncle. I don't know. I want Quinton to be safe. When we talk about missing children, which isn't a lot, we've done Ariel, and sometimes we throw it out there. We always want them to be found safe. Even if the police are saying that he's dead, I'm going to go, no, he's not. Find him first. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm that type of person. I know it might sound naive. But no, this is a baby. He had his whole life. He had a personality. He had a soul. It's insane.
And it's becoming a circus. And you know what I wish? I wish that Dolly and Betty would go home. The protesters would go home. Everyone would forget about this protesters and focus on Quinton and try to find his remains, try to spread awareness. Maybe he's still alive. Maybe there's, maybe missing posters being up, maybe talking to, but I think and also allow the cops time. Sometimes it takes years to do these investigations. They're not done in a week.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're not giving the cops enough time. Mr. X is in the house. I don't know who Mr. X is, but
I don't know who these.
Oh wait,
people are.
I know who. I actually know who Mr. X is, but yeah, whatever. Quinton, even if the family knows, is he gone because they have done nothing to find him? Well, the problem is they can't really look for him right now because the police told them they can't look. And also, if you think about this way, Quinton, if you are would you allow a prime suspect to look for the kid when they can just possibly go and dispose of evidence? No. You would not. You would just let them. You would just basically say, "Stay at home. Don't touch anything, and let us look for the evidence, and we're going to look for everything."
That's what I'm afraid of, is that evidence, tampering and stuff like that. That's what I'm really afraid of, because if Leilani, that's her name, right? Leilani, did this, then I want her to go down hard. I want her life, no parole, no nothing. No, I want her to go down for this.
Yeah.
And you can't
Exactly.
you can't tamper with things. Like, you can go, like, this group could go to the police station and be like, hey, surrounding the landfill, that public area, is it okay for us to do, like, an area search on our own, X feet away from where you guys are at? Because I know they're currently searching, just to do the police would probably be like, yes, sure, go for it.
Yeah. So it's, I think. Do we need to play? Did you play the Turkin video? I was away for a moment.
You're only away for a minute, but yeah, I'll finish playing it now.
Yeah, just play it fast. Just so just see how mentality.
See twerking.
How mentality works.
They are encouraging her, but I don't know who's encouraging her. Not
Well, the
right
one in
people,
the
obviously.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's. I mean, it was, and the reason why she was doing it was in front of the car to kind of.
Really stopping traffic?
No, this is the driveway of.
Oh, this is the guy getting arrested.
Hey, can y'all take my car to the damn hotel for my son?
And look at this. I mean, I don't like the fact that people who I was talking to that woman who's working also banged them. She said that she was a housekeeper. She has a kid. She's married. This does not. I don't want that person. To be honest with you, I want that person to stay away from here and not get arrested. You know what I mean? I don't want these people to ruin their lives and get arrested for shit like this.
Or if you do go to the protest, don't act like this. This isn't fair to Quinton. This isn't fair to his story. Do you guys understand that? That in the future, people are going to look this up and they're going to find this video.
Yeah. I mean, they're already talking about it.
I feel like there's more videos like this and live streams of this than there is on the actual story.
What harm would it? Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more posters, but unfortunately, I would ask the same of the protesters. Why are the protesters putting up posters? You know what I mean? Like, they could. There are their feet on the ground. They said they're holding up signs in the neighborhood, but why are they not going around putting up posters for Quinton?
Everybody in this situation, even the cops, CPS, the family, the protesters, are doing something wrong. I'm not blaming just one group of people like the protesters. I am blaming everybody in the circus.
Yeah. But it's a sad situation. I mean, I feel like there's two, the protesters were not there from day one. No, they weren't there from day one, but they could be there now. You know what I mean? Like, they could be the individuals.
Are they still there today?
Yeah, they're still there. They're actually, Dolly's carving pumpkins, and I don't know if they're giving out candy or something like that. I don't know. I heard he was carving up pumpkins. I really don't, I follow certain advice. Like, if I don't like a content creator, I watch them a little bit, but
you don't sit there for hours.
I don't feel like watching them for hours. Hate watching them constantly, because then I kind of miss the live streams I like to watch of people. I I have very little time in the day, and I like to watch good content creators instead of bad ones all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Allowing the family to do something. Yeah, the thing is, would you allow, I mean, if you were a cop, would you allow, and you believe one of the family members or the family member might be covering up a crime, would you allow them to search around to hide the evidence? No. You'd probably say stay at home and let the cops search the evidence. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a smart idea to do that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, let's play the rest of the interview, I guess, and just...
Okay, we're at 4 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah, and this is the interview. We're not going to finish all of it because obviously time is a matter, but
this is just a clip.
Yeah, and you can watch the rest of the clip. It's a 2-part clip. It's on Tragedy Defense Exposed. But anyway, we just played a little bit more.
Oh, Dolly left? Okay. I have no idea. That's why I asked.
I'm glad that Dolly left. I hope Dolly left. I hope Betty left, and I hope they all just...
Well, this is also... Dolly is also the guy who said that he hopes that there's a missing kid in Hawaii or something like that, so he can go to a warm climate and have a good time. Let's
Yeah, I have no respect for Dolly. I'm just telling, and I'm being fair.
Like, I
have
don't
no
know these
respect.
people from Adam or Eve. I'm telling you guys the truth. I don't know, so I'm not going to judge them on them. I'm going to judge them from what they produce and what I've seen so far. No bueno.
And he's also selling the all this videos. He's trying to sell them to like the local media. He already sold that video to Court TV. So think about this: these protesters are being monetized by Dolly. He's literally going to the news outlets and trying to sell the footage.
Yeah.
So he's selling the footage of people getting arrested. You know, like if he's there. You know, he's selling the footage of like he's monetizing it in super chats
Do
and
you
stuff
think
like
that's
that.
maybe why he instigates some things?
I don't know. I mean, like, if it was me and I was on the ground, I was like trying to be like a protester. I would tell them, like, hey guys, don't get arrested and follow the laws, and this is what you got to do, and also calm down and stop looking like fools, so we don't get videotaped.
I'm telling you.
And I would take off my Ninja Turtle mask that he's wearing constantly, and the sign that says he loves, like, he wants to marry Leilani, he believes in child, like, he thinks child murderers are hot, and take it very seriously.
He did
but,
say that, y'all. It's on the last video that was posted on Thursday.
Yeah.
Y'all can see it. Like, we're not exaggerating. We're not making up shit. Like, we do not do that. We go on our opinions based off of things that are produced that we can show you. We just don't pull things out. That's why I asked if there was a video of Leilani partying at this, you know, whatever, this Applebee's establishment. It's not Applebee's, obviously, I know, but like an Applebee's. Like, that's why I asked for a video. But you only get a picture. And that's the thing with pictures. You can produce any kind of story in your head with a picture. That's why I like to go on videos. Does that make sense? Because in the video, you can see everything play out. But in a picture, you can make up a whole fucking story.
Basket says bye. Yeah, she's jumping off.
Bye, Mom. Be safe. Okay, we're going to play the rest.
And I'm not saying, look,
Right,
I'm not
alright.
saying he's not.
Because if y'all gonna start coming at me, then I'm just gonna end
We're
this.
not, look, we're not coming at you. I'm asking you questions.
Okay.
I just don't, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get in your mind to understand what would make you do that. Because honestly, it looks bad when you're
But
watching.
there's honestly, Bullhorn Betty and everybody out there was making us.
Okay, so were you
Taking us
just
home.
so were you just like encouraged by the crowd, the mob mentality, where you basically everyone was basically doing something they were
Like
pushing the envelope?
Yes, and Bullhorn
Okay.
Betty was egging on a lot of people. Especially me when she seen how upset I was when Leilani was in the window because I
Because-
walked away because I was crying.
Yeah, because a lot of
Right.
people don't realize it's like mob mentality kind of overrides what people normally would do.
Yes.
And I hate to say, and I shouldn't say it, but I will say it, I am manic bipolar. So by them doing that,
Ugh.
you know, I know what I
Okay.
did was wrong, and it was
Well,
completely
that was the
wrong. But I took
excuse.
full
I know Tony
responsibility.
has.
I'm
Tony
going to
does not
court
like
for
that
it, you know,
excuse.
all that, and I know what I did was wrong, and I know people don't agree with
Hold on,
it.
pausing it. Like, if this was a 15-year-old that did something erratic and manic,
Yeah.
then I could be like, okay, you're 15. You know, or 18. Even 18 or 19, they're still young to me. You know, they're still learning, right?
Yeah.
I don't buy that as an excuse for half of the shit I see. And it's because people use it as an excuse. I'm bipolar 1, all right? I have ups and I have downs. Currently, I'm in a down. You know, when I'm manic, y'all know it. That's why we named the channel Zero to Manic, because 1 minute I could be like all serious and fun and da-da-da. And then the next minute you can get a show like this where Tony just doesn't give a fuck. I have mood swings. But the thing is, though, if I do something wrong, I know I do something wrong. Like, I'm aware. And if somebody tells me, like if Grandma Sherry was to be like, hey, Tony, that wasn't cool, you shouldn't have said that, then I would have literally rewind myself and be like, oh shit, you're right. Because I respect that more than people pleasers. I respect people calling me out on my shit so I can learn.
Yeah.
But I'm also almost going to be 38 years old, so I'm self-aware.
You got
And if
wisdom.
she's self-aware, but she's self-aware as well. She's self-aware,
think-
but she has no coping.
I think like there's a difference between being there and not being there. I think like that was what played its the situation.
Oh no,
it's
I
not-
believe she's bipolar. I do believe
Yeah.
that she's bipolar. I just think that people who are bipolar, no matter if you're 1, 2, or anything in between, that you do decipher what's right from wrong, and you know, you have to be held accountable from the wrongs. If you do something
Yeah.
wrong, you have to be held accountable, and you shouldn't use, you know, your mental illness so freely like that. You should have been like, look, yes, I know I'm bipolar and sometimes I act weird and I do apologize. I take accountability. There's a strong difference between, well, I did this and I'm sorry, but I'm bipolar and that, no, there's a difference between acceptance and there's a difference between using something as a shield. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Local. I'm not sure what was your question. Why would you think that? I'm not sure that was.
I don't know why you, Quinton Matters. Can you please explain what the question was? Why do you think that, please?
Yeah, why you think that? But we'll move on to the video.
Yeah, while you type that out, we're gonna press play. Okay, pressing play now.
But well, it's just to me looking at it, and from an outside point of view, if you watched it, it's embarrassing to me to be represented like that because I know we don't act like. You know what I'm saying? That's it's telling the whole world that that's how people from South Georgia act. No hell it ain't. That's not the way we act. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got frustrated with. And so I was trying to understand why. Because it's not helping the situation. You're putting more stress on the LE.
The reason why I worked in front of the car was because Leilani was in that truck.
Yeah, we've seen that, but I'm feeling like you would have known. Normally, you would not have done
But
that.
I wasn't the only person doing stuff out there.
Yeah.
So
I know you're not. We're not.
See, it's a bunch of
not at all.
excuses. Okay, pausing it real quick. That was a bunch of excuses. Quinton, would a person have to be close to them to be passionate about keeping Quinton relevant?
Oh,
no.
He was answering Grandma Sherry. Okay, so I see what they're doing. Okay.
Oh, question. Oh, I didn't know if you are in the area. She said she's bipolar twice, and I was there. Yeah. No, I believe she's bipolar. I hope nobody fucking lies about their diagnosis. So I always take it with, she is. Do you get what I'm saying? But you don't have to be you don't have to be related to be passionate about this. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's some shows and some like the Gabriel Hernandez. Like, I cried like a baby, and still nothing has changed in California. Like, you can be passionate about something and keep him relevant without even knowing the people.
Yeah.
There's a difference, but how you present it, that is solely on your shoulders. And people are going to react to it. It's going to be good, it's going to be bad. And you kind of have to take the good and the bad. I just hope that the bad, which is not, like, horrible, like, I don't mean trolling, I mean people who do honest and polite criticism, like, maybe you should have done this or that. Maybe take that into consideration. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many things you could do differently. My heart simply breaks for this baby. Oh, no, exactly. Like, I'm gonna think in my head that he's somewhere safe. And it's just a misunderstanding. Maybe, I don't know. I just want him safe. That's it. I want him safe and sound. The reality of it is we all know the reality of it, but I don't want to believe that right yet.
Yeah. Let's continue the video.
Yes, pressing play. Ooh, no.
Oh, I'm not singing you out because it just embarrassed me to see all of it. Have you watched it back? Have you watched any of it?
Yeah. I work a full-time job, but I do watch what I can.
Yeah, but have you not been embarrassed watching it back, though?
I'm sure she was.
Honestly, no.
You're not?
Honestly, no.
I think she lied there. She lied there.
What about,
she did.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What about the torture of not only the neighbors? Fuck that. We're not standing up for baby killers. But what about the torture, the psychological torture that you guys are giving that family who has not been found guilty of anything? You guys are not the jury. You guys are not the judge. How dare you? Think you should be out there doing that?
Don't dare me.
I will dare you.
Stop it there. Stop it. That's me trying to stop her. I was like, stop it. Because Jones is her feeling. She's very passionate. She's
entitled. Yeah, she's entitled.
Yeah, and she was about to explode on her, and I was like, if you explode on her, she's just never going to come back at that point. And I was just trying to calm and diffuse the situation because I was like, we need to figure out some information. Mm-hmm. What incentivized her into this twerking? We need to get into her head a little bit. What was Betty behind? Was there some sort of, because we heard rumors. There was rumors that one protester was being paid by Betty. And I wanted to see if maybe this lady would reveal this information and she would have proof. So I didn't want her to jump out of the freaking call and be like that. And also there was a lot of people that were sending questions in the chat. So I didn't want her to jump out immediately.
What? That's the thing. She's trying to tell her story and what's going on. I get it. Like, everybody's entitled to their feelings, and I get people being pissed off that go for it. But sometimes if you want to know more, you kind of have to be like, honey, Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
catch
you gotta
more
like
flies
hone
with
it back.
Yeah, I get it, but the thing is though, y'all weren't on the same page with that, and that's totally fine as well. But she has every right to
Yeah,
be
I mean, I
like,
get,
you are,
and I
you
like,
know.
and I like Jones. And Jones actually makes good YouTube videos. I watch her YouTube videos. She makes pretty good YouTube videos. She's got a good opinion. But at that point, I knew that she was gonna explode on her. She was gonna be like, "Bitch, please!" And she was about to just
Oh yeah,
explode.
and honestly, by right, she has a right to explode.
And I was
This
like, but
is the
but when you're
time.
doing, yeah, but when you're doing an interview with a person, you have to kind of like, that's why there's questions that you confront them with, and there's questions you kind of like things you let go because you know if you start confronting them with that particular thing, it's not going to
Yeah.
lead anywhere. It's going to lead into a fight, and you're not going to get answers, and that person's going to hang up the phone.
See,
It's just simple as that.
I'm weird because in my simple little mind, I'm like, this is the one time that she's gonna be on the panel, so therefore I'm gonna tell her you're a fucking idiot. That's
Yeah.
You do get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do this now before she dips out because we know she's gonna dip out.
I think the chat would have liked you better than me at that point because there's a lot of people pissed off at me at this interview. They were like, "Oh, you were too sympathetic. You were giving her excuses. You were, because this is only part
I
one.
will
This is
say
part
this.
two."
I will say this. She is already being charged. She was already arrested. She already has to pay fines. She already has to do that. I do not wish harm onto anybody, so I do tell everybody here, do not harass this woman. Do not put this woman in danger. I hope she learns from this experience, and I hope she accepts the negative comments of this because I don't feel like, how dare you, was like the
Unfortunately,
ending
she's
thing.
just on unfortunate events. I heard yesterday she was like backpedaling. She said that we tricked her into this interview. That it was just what I mean. Like she's just backpedaling right now, and she's also like. She's kind of saying that we tricked her into this interview and we were
So
unfair to
she's
her.
playing that she's weak-minded at the protest and listened to everybody telling her to twerk, and now she's weak-minded because she got pressure. Stop being weak. You are a grown woman. You have a family. You have a career. You're going places.
See, the chat
Why
would
put
like
yourself in this situation?
The chat would like you, Queepy, because that was the sentiment from a lot of people. I read the I read the comments from people because I take criticism, and like a lot of people, some people had that sentiment is like, "Please, bitch, please, you are like 26 years old, grow the fuck up." But I'm like, okay, maybe the reason why she's acting like this is because there's a crowd like a
Well, she deserves
mentality.
it. She deserves it. She did it to herself. And this is the thing too, if I do something stupid or if I say something stupid, I expect everybody to make me accountable. But the only difference is I only have myself to blame. I'm not going to blame other people.
Yeah, so let's continue the video. Let's continue.
Okay, we're going to press play. I just,
I'll back out.
Well,
Sorry.
She's dropped off. She dropped off.
Yeah,
that victim shit, that was too much.
She
dipped out? Well, she's kept on dropping out, Kim.
And we heard about the lady that was on hospice and had to go to the hospital. And we watched
And
the
they
old
cut
guy
out that part.
Dolly harassed when he put signs in his yard. And the old man said, "Hey, please take those out." And he was so angry, he was shaking. Okay, hold on. Here she goes, right here. Is this you?
It's me.
Oh, Kim comes back.
I don't know if you heard. I know things kind of got
She
a little heated or
probably
whatnot,
lost
but I
signal
do
or
want to tell you thank you for
That's
coming
what's
up here. I do
happening. She
appreciate
kept
that.
on dropping
Thank you.
out.
It's hard to come up here and face.
So a lot of these people don't know how to
what I'm
use
saying?
StreamYard.
Yeah, I've been trying to get out. See, I haven't done. That's why I've been like. That's the thing. Nobody wants to listen to me. Like everybody looks.
Now, how Queen does it
50 minutes of
is
fame,
good.
and I'm not. I'm a normal 26-year-old with a 6-year-old kid
Yeah.
doing a housekeeping
Right.
job.
Yeah, that's not what I
Like,
think.
I don't want my picture. I was there for
I don't think
Quinton.
that's what you would think.
Quinton. If I knew they were you too famous, I would have not have let them. Sorry, I wouldn't have
Calm
let
down,
them
calm down.
record me because
Yeah.
then now like
Right.
I'm all this like get.
Well,
like,
this is what we're trying to get you to understand is that, hold on.
And I don't
hold on,
appreciate
Big Tim.
and I don't
Well,
appreciate the comments and.
Yeah, this is what we're trying to get you to understand. Do we all think Leilani?
Yeah, but can I say something? Yeah, I'm
No, I
trying to
think
say.
she because she doesn't know how to work YouTube, so when she hits the back button, it throws her
Yeah,
off.
it's throwing her off. Yeah.
She's really. I mean, I can tell you right now.
I'm getting that. I see.
Button, it just throws you out. Like
Close
if
the
you say it's
laptop.
you
That's
get out.
out.
Yeah, are you all right? Because you sounded like you were getting emotional. I
No,
want you to
it's
calm
just
down.
it's
It is
because
emotional.
I've been trying to make a statement for a while, but like my husband doesn't. The only person that supports me is my mom, and sorry, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, she's childish. She just wants her 15 minutes of fame." Like if I did, I wouldn't want to be all over the place. And it's embarrassing because my son came home from school, or I went on a field trip with my son. And someone said, "Hey, I know you. You were on TV." That's embarrassing. Like if I knew, like we're not on TV. So I'm sorry, it's just
YouTube.
It's just like it's YouTube. Yeah, like I just wouldn't have even let them show my face to begin with, because I don't want, like, and the thing is, luckily on Facebook, like, I haven't been getting friend requests and stuff, but when I read comments and stuff, everyone's saying stuff they don't know because they're not local and they don't know what's, they don't know what's going on.
Then you made a mistake, and now it's like filmed, and a lot of people, a lot of people's mistakes are usually not filmed online, and your mistake was filmed online.
Yeah.
Right, and then, like, if I knew they were, YouTubers, I wouldn't let that happen, and I'm just
Hold on, pausing it. Well, here's the thing. Her wording is so wrong. First off, I don't like to hear any woman get upset. That's just me.
Yeah.
So that's why I was a little sympathetic there. Poor Karina. She's, I don't like to hear that. But nobody's setting her up. She is talking without a filter right now. And her biggest thing, well, if I knew that they were big YouTubers and filming, I wouldn't have done it. Well, here's the thing. Don't do it at all. Why does a camera define what you do? This is why I don't do stupid shit. This is exactly why, because anybody could be filming at any fucking time. I stay true to myself, obviously. I stick up for myself, and
I agree with you. And
hold on.
Let me read it.
Yeah, you read. Sorry, there was a party bus going by.
Tim, was Kimberly after this panel somewhere else telling what? I heard she was on BHB and she was saying like something about like we kind of like tricked her. She thought it was like going to be more sympathetic to the protesters. This chat. That's what she was basically saying, and she was tricked and all that stuff. And she has a GoFundMe now for the court cost. And I'm like, and then like the reason why I found out about this is because someone yesterday jumped up on the panel and confronted me and been like, you were giving her excuses and you were too light on her, and basically like saying like I did, and I was talking too much, and I was talking too much in the interview. And I was like, okay.
Well, here's the thing though, when you're on a panel and there's 4 people on the panel and that one person jumps in and 3 out of the 4 people are obviously within their right to be passionate, about this, because this is horrible. There has to be that one level-headed person that's trying to be like, hey, let's talk, But on the other hand, the wild side of me is just going, let her have it. Like this is your opinion, this is what happens, and I don't care if they were famous YouTubers or not. I mean, who defines fame? I'm a famous YouTuber, I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, there's a camera out. You're being recorded. But even that, take that factor out of the way. Don't do stupid shit. It's that simple. She made a poor judgment. She made a couple poor judgments because she's also the twerker and the window knocker. Then yes, poor judgment on her. Should we crucify her? Absolutely fucking not. Should we give our honest heart, from our heart opinions on this? Maybe reason with her? Yes, absolutely. But no, nobody's defending this one. I don't think you were defending her. I think you were trying to be the level-headed person.
Yeah, there was a panel, Quinton. I was on Queen Bee's panel yesterday, and towards the tail end, like 9-something, 10 o'clock, a woman comes up, and she thought I was talking too much. She thought I was too sympathetic to the lady that went up. That I was giving her excuses, and basically everything was done wrong by me, basically. And I was explaining to her, like, number one, the reason why I was talking a lot was because I was reading questions from the chat. I wasn't reading super chats. I was actually reading the chat. And I had 1,000 people going. So I was just kind of reading if there was, like, a question someone, like, IN'd me to ask her. So I would ask her that question, and try to figure it out. And also the reason why is because I was trying to get her to kind of just direct her towards subjects instead of letting her just, like, ramble on. So, I mean, that's what I was trying to do. Was I perfect?
She was burying herself.
Yeah, was I perfect? No, but I mean, obviously, but I think like it could have been a lot worse. We could have yelled at her and she would have left, and then I would have died.
Wait, Tony, wait, what did you say? But
I think Queen Bee also did very well. Like, she was, like, the thing a lot of credit gives to Queen Bee, because she actually is very calm and she lets everyone up, and she's like,
I like Queen Bee.
She really does do a good job of just allowing a person to come up and talk, which is very good.
Yeah.
Cappy does too. I mean, Cappy gets the questions out, and there's a lot of, and I think that girl came up as well and asked her questions. So yeah, I think everyone did pretty well actually when it came to that. And Sweet Pea was, I think she was gonna calm down. I was just worried she was gonna explode on her because, she was like really pissed off because she felt that this lady
I
kind
don't
of
I don't blame
embarrassed
her.
her.
I don't
Yeah,
blame her.
and I agree with her. Like it was definitely embarrassing at the time. So
I mean, but like I would like to see this one. I'm not going to say her name obviously because I know she's getting a lot of hate, but I would
Yeah.
like to see this woman just take accountability. Don't blame the cameras. Don't blame
yeah,
Just be like, I fucked up, and I'm sorry. I wish I didn't do it. That's it. That just saying that would be it. Be like, I own up to it. Just we all
And
make the
apparently-
fucking mistake. This is why I don't go on panels
Yeah.
because sometimes when I get on a panel, I do not have a filter because if I get enough nerve to go on somebody else's show like this, like I'm just gonna be like, you're a fucking idiot. Why are you like I don't have a filter and I don't want to be a mean person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it, but usually how I usually do it is first off, if I'm on a hostile panel, I am not looking at the chat. You will immediately see me like if I know that the chat's going to rebel against me, I am not going to look at the chat. I'm just going to talk facts. I'm just going to listen to the question. Another thing is if I'm debating someone, I usually shut off the thing and I start typing in the questions, like the statements that they're making in a notepad. So I can remember them and refute those statements later on. And sometimes I'll become very quiet, and that's usually me because I'm looking up the information they're stating so I can compare and contrast if what they're saying is bullshit or not.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if I'm in a chill, like when I'm on Queen Bee, I'm usually chill. I would look at the chat and I'll answer questions and talk, and it's simple as that. I don't really have an issue. But if someone like comes up and tries to confront me, I usually don't resort to cursing them out because cursing out kind of like makes you auto lose in a debate. Because when you start cursing, you look like an idiot.
Yeah,
You
I
look
get
like
that.
you look like a complete moron, and you automatically lose, in my opinion. The point of a debate discussion is two things: either to learn something, educate that person, or educate the chat. When
Yeah.
you start cursing, you're just entertainment. You're just like two monkeys throwing shit at each other.
But
And yeah, it's entertaining to see.
these women are very passionate on what's going on right now. So
Oh, thank you.
You know what I mean?
So I mean, like that's why I
get it.
I did one time. Like I got a little bit annoyed because after like almost 3 hours of Ryan cursing me out and calling me all kinds and his thing, I did like the last fu to him when I left, which I kind of regret. But yeah, I did one time curse at a person on a live because Ryan pissed me off after 3 hours of cursing me out.
You're not the cursy person. I am.
Yeah.
Like this
I
show
was
is
like-
divided. Like whatever. But I'm the opposite of Belial. Like I would be but also it's just who I am. I incorporate swears when I talk. But no, you're not that person to. I am though. That's why I don't go on people's panels because if somebody comes up and starts acting stupid, I'm going, oh, we're acting stupid now, and I would join. I'll be like, I'm acting stupid with you. You know what I mean? Like I will be that person.
Yeah. So it just depends on the person. If the person's batshit crazy, I'll just troll them.
Well, yeah, like if it was a Ryan Upchurch thing, then obviously, okay, we're gonna be acting stupid now. Okay, we acting stupid. But if it's this woman, I would have listened, but I also would have been like, you fucked up, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I remember one guy like who was came up and was trying to troll us, and he was like talking about we're talking about like a true crime, and he talks about like Ireland and everything, and I know he was trolling us because I felt like he was sent by Salty, I think. So I was like, and he says, you know everything about Scotland? I says, yeah, I know because I saw Braveheart. I know everything about Ireland. And if you know Braveheart, it's about Scotland. He was like getting pissed off. And I said that quickly to make it look like I really didn't know anything about Ireland. I had a friend who was like literally came from Ireland, and he was like he used to talk about the history constantly.
Jackal, Mary Poppins, Jasmine, right? No, I mean, I feel bad for this woman because she made mistakes, but a part of me does not feel bad for this woman because she's not taking accountability. She's blaming everybody but herself.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, she's going to deal with the consequences. And I don't feel like beating up a person that's already getting embarrassed by the media, embarrassed by social media, and also has to pay thousands of dollars in legal fees.
But she's saying now that you guys tricked her, though.
Yeah, but I always think it's just a fig leaf. It's just like, people will say things to just keep their pride. And the truth of the matter is she wants to keep her pride. She wants to say, oh, no, I'm actually a prideful person. And it's like the last fig leaf. It's just like Devil's Advocate. Where the devil's like the last fig leaf, pride. And it's like, that's pretty much it. Like, people hold on to their pride, and people want to be like right all the time. And like, you know, you can rip that fig leaf from them, or you can just be like, whatever, bro. Of course we tricked you. Of course, you know, it was all a trick. And of course you don't feel embarrassed about possibly on court TV, being on court TV soon, twerking, and then everyone sees it. Because it's like, what, you know, I mean, what's
Did
the
Court
point?
TV did post it?
Well, that's what she was worried about, because we mentioned Court TV, and she was almost about to cry, like when we mentioned it,
Yeah.
like in the live. She was
I
like,
mean, I
literally-
hope it doesn't happen. Like seriously, all honesty, I hope that doesn't happen. But the video is out there now. You did this. You should just be like, look, I fucked up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I think she just didn't want to admit that she fucked up, and she didn't want to admit that because people hold on to their pride. Unfortunately, that's how it is. And you can argue with them and try to rip that last fig leaf, but people will fight to the bitter end to keep that last fig leaf of pride. You know, and that's how it is. And I just didn't.
I don't like the fact that she's now saying this was because you people are not bad people. She's trying to make it look like you guys are not conniving. You guys are not Queen Bee. You guys are good people. If you weren't a good person, B, I wouldn't be on the show with you. We wouldn't be doing everything 50-50. I would not associate with you. That's the thing. But again, they don't even know me, so who cares what I say? But I just know that you guys are not bad people. You guys are speaking from your heart, being passionate. That's not something y'all do. It's not a setup. It wasn't a setup. If anything, you're the one that came out, you know.
I think Queen Bee was very fair to her. I think generally the chat showed a lot of sympathy towards her. But I think like a lot of times like people just like they just hold on to that. I really think the chat was was turning around sympathetic towards her. Because I mean, and obviously people like said to her, well, she's 26 and she should know better. Yeah, she should know better, unfortunately. But we live in a society of mob mentality. We live in a society where social media misinformation spreads like wildfire, and people just go by the mob, and they don't think.
She'll learn though.
Hopefully she learns. I hope for her that this is just a bump in the road. She goes back to her normal life. She does proper protests. She does proper, you know, for missing children advocate and avoid the grifters, and that's pretty much my thought process on her. I don't like the media. They will cover the chaos, but not all these They don't cover the missing children because they don't make enough money. That's the truth of it, Teth. They don't make enough money, and it's unfortunate. It's the same thing with YouTube. I mean, like, let's be real. With a lot of videos, the videos that will get the most attention are drama, or basically, like, you know, I would say drama. Basically, drama gets you the most views.
Train wreck. People love a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, and it's like if you go to like an actual missing person, you watch a missing person case that doesn't have widespread media attention, you'll probably get like 30 or 60. If you're lucky, you'll get like 100 and something people watching. But if you get like a drama situation, boy, you can get a lot of views very quickly. And
Grandma
it's just how
Sherry says it best.
I hope
you can be compassionate and still not condone actions. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you could be like, yeah, I feel bad that you're going to be embarrassed on social media for the twerking girl and the girl that banged the thing, and you have to pay thousands of dollars in fines. But you're already being punished for that, so should I continuously attack you?
No, you shouldn't. But you should also, like, I agree with Queen Bee and everybody else, you should also say your feelings on this.
Yeah, so let's continue.
You know, okay, press and play.
People saying, like, I want my 15 minutes of fame when that's not what I want. I was there for Quinton, Bullhorn, Betty, and them, and Dolly was there to make money.
Yeah.
And then she said that she would help me, and then
she did.
Yeah, my courts and
yeah. I mean, my advice
like
is probably
a week and a half. Like it's
yeah.
And then she blocked me. Like after she said that she would do stuff like, which is fine. Like I can afford an attorney. I'm not crying because oh boo hoo. You know I got money. It's not like it's not even that. It's just
it's stressful.
She was one of those. She was one of the ones out there taunting me because after I saw Leilani dancing in the window, I got so upset. I turned around and started walking to my car, and she stopped me. And she was like, "I'm sorry. Go ahead."
I have a question though. How come I can't see? I don't. Maybe it's the camera didn't pick it up. I didn't see her dancing in the window at all.
Someone said there's a video on Olivia. They're going to send it to me.
Yeah, I was going to say Olivia is the one. Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. Olivia is like a young TikTok / YouTuber. She has a huge following on TikTok. And they did this to another family as well. Summer Wells' family. I don't know if you've ever heard about Summer Wells, but
yeah, but I didn't know that she did that to them.
Yeah, this is not their first rodeo. They've definitely done some things like
this before. Did you see Leilani dancing, or did you just hear them say, "Hey, she's dancing"?
No, I was literally standing right. I saw her in the mirror, and Michael was next to her, and he said he was eating chicken wings, and there was somebody on my there was a lot of people. I mean, there were so many witnesses.
Oh, so you were told by someone, and you took that as a fact because you thought they saw it.
No, I was the one that saw her. I was looking
Okay.
dead at her.
So,
I was in front of the window.
Oh, okay.
Like on the other side before I got to the window.
And was this the twerking incident, or was it the touching the window incident that sparked that thing?
I never said she was twerking like she said. I said she was dancing.
No, I'm saying you. When you were, was she in the driveway when you did that, and then, or was it the window incident when you went up to the window and touched
the window incident. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm trying to differentiate, just get a chronology. I'm not trying to I understand you're a young girl. You
can stop for a moment. So
it's,
basically, her story changed like 2-3 times. Did you notice that?
I was trying to pay attention because
she basically said the first person how she found out about Leilani dancing at the window was Olivia told her. Then it was the other people that told her. Then it was her that saw it. So I'm inclined to believe that the crowd probably told her that, and she did not see it, and she just believed it as fact because the crowd told her that they saw it.
I mean, she had to have known this is probably not the way I should conduct myself when there's a missing child, a baby.
You'd be surprised how dumb, like people will follow dumb advice and do mob mentality and stuff like that. And it's just, hope people. I'll be honest, I got so upset with the drama they were creating that I keep watching the other streamings because I want to see BHB and DV face consequences. You know what? I'm going to be very sad. It's going to be like cynical view. I don't think they're going to face any consequence. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to keep on getting money, subscribers, and the fans that they have will always be there, and they will watch. And the people that want to watch a train wreck will always be there, and they will donate, and their audience will just simply grow. And this
is the thing too, like if there is there's like a sliver of a chance that Leilani, could be innocent and walk away from this innocent because it wasn't her. When it comes that she is guilty, it's just going to, what's the word? Evaluate, or what's the word? Make it think in their heads like Blowhorn Betty and Dolly's head, like we did the right thing. This is what we're doing. Da, da. Until the day they go to the wrong place and they're like, "You got this wrong."
Well, you know what? Even if they do get it wrong, it doesn't matter. To them, they make money because you're always the hero of your own story. Yeah. So Bullhorn Betty probably thinks they're doing a good thing. Dolly probably thinks he's doing a good thing. No one thinks they're evil. No villain says that, when you look at Sauron, for instance, from Lord of the Rings, he didn't look at himself as evil. He was like, I'm bringing order to Middle Earth. I'm bringing industry to Middle Earth. Look at me. I'm actually fixing up the eras in the Illuminati and all the problems of Middle Earth. You never look, even the most evilest character never looks at themselves and says, yeah, I'm an evil piece of shit. It doesn't work that way.
And Jasmina, that's what I guess she didn't really see Leilani really dancing. Maybe some moving. I mean, it could be that moving interpretation.
I think the crowd probably, someone thought they saw it, told her, she convinced herself she saw it, but I think maybe Olivia or the crowd told her, and then they all convinced themselves because of what we just saw, mob mentality, the Ash experiment we just talked about, where a visual illusion occurred, and then a majority of people agreed it, and then everyone that didn't see it agreed with that person because they didn't want to be out of the crowd. Then they basically rushed to the door. So this is why I bring up these experiments, because it's psychologically, you want to understand why this happens and why people do this. So basically, that probably is a prime example of the Ash experiment that just happened with her seeing the window with those people.
And you know what, Tammy? They should have a poster, like a missing, his poster up in the corner of the screen or something like that, because you gotta find him. You would think that's the whole point. If your channel is based on trying to find the child, then where's the pictures? Where's the pictures? Where's the latest information? Actual information, something documented with proof, not just she was partying at Applebee's and she was dancing in the window. No, I want to see it. I do. I want to see this. I already think she did it. Don't get me wrong. I already think she did it. Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, though, I'm not going to go off of what other people say. I want the proof, and I don't want a picture. I want a video.
Yeah.
Because I don't even trust pictures anymore.
And then it says, Tommy Crimes, why can't the media have pictures in the corner of missing childs?
That's what I just read.
Yeah, it's true. That would be nice, but unfortunately the media doesn't work that way because every bit of space on TV is where they can make money. So obviously they're not going to give free space to missing children. That's pretty cynical, but that's probably the truth.
It's horrible.
You can play. Yeah, you can play the video.
Okay, press and play.
Dates in life, and
and then like my husband's like ashamed of me because like
Yeah.
I've been all over the news and everything, and we are local, so like it's a small town, everybody knows everybody, and this money, and like I just wish like I was there for Quinton. I can't take it back now, but and there's probably people in the comments now saying, oh no, she's crying.
No, I think there's sympathy in the comments. There's people that are sympathetic of your situation.
Yeah, this is my first time literally telling my side of the story.
Well,
so I think that's why I'm getting emotional, because I haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah.
It's okay, and you're allowed to get emotional. You're allowed to feel those emotions, girl. It's all good. We do too. Shit, it's all good, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotional when you do some stuff like that, and it's caught on camera, and it's there for the world to see, and it's on the internet. The internet's forever. So
I was like that when
I
was like that when I first heard my voice being recorded
man.
too. You know what I mean? It happens. It's natural. People get like nervous and get anxious when that happens. You know, and I think you just made a mistake, and your heart was in the right place, but I think you just didn't know a better like. I don't think.
And then being honestly like not trying to use like mental health as an excuse, but people that know real manic bipolar, like especially when a lot of people are chanting you on, like
God. Pausing it.
Yeah, you're gonna get set off by the bipolar thing.
Are you fucking insane? No, seriously, like, no, it doesn't work like that. I mean, everybody expresses their disorder differently, obviously, but she's self-aware. And if you're so self-aware about your mania, which she's blaming it on, she's not blaming it on the bipolar part, she's blaming it on the mania, which is two separate things, so maybe she should educate herself on that. If you're self-aware of that, and you know this, that's the part of controlling it, when you're self-aware.
Yeah, I mean... And I honestly stand by that. I think she did know. I think her heart was, because she heard it right. Her heart was on the right place, but she just did it completely wrong. And and unfortunately, there weren't people around that told her. Yeah, people thought I was giving an excuse because I said that she had the heart in the right place. It's like no one does something just purely based on evil all the time. She probably thought she was helping Quinton. She probably thought like she was gonna bring justice to the situation. But unfortunately, I think most likely she's probably given an avenue for the actual killer to escape any punishment.
You have a good night lighting the way, and please be safe. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And Grandma Sherry is right. I mean, you can be compassionate and your heart could be in the right place, but how you present that to the world is another story.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And she is using her mania as an excuse, but you're so self-aware of it, then why couldn't you try to control? And I know it's hard to control. Take it from me. I have my moments. Nobody can control me. But I'm also not so much in my mania that I don't understand right and wrong and what could be bad and not bad. I know the difference.
You gotta realize she's gonna use that up a lot. She's gonna use that excuse a lot because, people don't want to. As much as she says she's got to take accountability, obviously in her own mind she's making excuses. Why
she hasn't yet? No, she hasn't yet. She's
she's going to make a lot of excuses, and it takes time for people to grow up and be like, yeah, I fucked up and I should not have done this. And unfortunately, she's not going to admit that to a crowd of 1,000 people in a chat. She's probably going to admit that when she's at home, maybe a couple of months from now or years from now, and say, yeah, that was a dumbass decision, and I should have done this. But hopefully it's the only bad decision she makes, and she moves on with her life.
Oh, she'll learn from this. She'll learn from this. And
I mean,
I do not wish her any harm or anything. I hope her and her husband are cool, and they understand that this was just, I
hope
she made two horrible mistakes: going on that property and knocking on the window and twerking. She made
and being there. Now. Actually, you forgot 3: being there and going there. So that was a bad mistake.
Well,
I think that was
she could go there and be there and protest, but she doesn't have to condone the wildness of it. She could have left.
I disagree. I kind of disagree with that. I think the protest became... I don't think you could protest in a residential neighborhood like that. I think, if you want to hold a memorial and,
No, you can. You can.
That's fine. But you gotta acknowledge this is a residential neighborhood. This is where kids sleep, family members live, and they didn't have those, and the excuses like those 3 houses basically. It's who cares if it was one? I mean, one house. The truth of the matter, those people are innocent. They didn't have anything to do with Quinton's disappearance. They're just across the street. They're neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if that happened to anyone. I'd go nuts, to be completely honest with you.
It
But
wouldn't
yeah,
happen in my hood. It just
yeah.
wouldn't. This
Oh
wouldn't
yeah, you're
happen.
this.
It wouldn't happen in my hood. I tell you that right now. No, no.
Yeah,
I'm not
this would
saying we're
not
not.
happen.
I'm not saying we're not passionate about. No, but shit will get done. We believe in karma. Like
Yeah.
you know.
So let's play a little bit more.
Pressing play now.
It
There's
can
only
do
a little
a
bit
lot.
left.
You're not going back to the scene, right? You're never going back. Please don't go back.
No, tonight was my last night.
Okay, I'm glad because you got to really avoid that because you're going to court. And I would like.
Oh, you were there tonight?
I only went for a little while.
And I didn't catch that.
And
to be
she
honest with
went
you.
back. Yeah.
But you gotta
So
avoid
she
that.
did
There was, but, there, but see, there was nobody.
Yeah,
there.
I
There was
didn't
like
catch
six-
that, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, okay, good. And I did not catch her saying, like, she went back.
Usually you don't go back to the scene of the crime you committed. Do you get what I'm saying?
And I cringed a little bit rewatching it because I did not notice that she said she went back the day. I was like, whoa, bro.
Yeah. See, now I'm taking I wish her well. I hope she goes to therapy because when you're
But Cappy caught
bipolar
it.
when you're bipolar 1, you really need to go to therapy. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just somebody who has bipolar 1. Please go to therapy because you will be self-aware of what's going on with your head.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
emotions, and you can better control it, and it just makes
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
better.
Yeah, and basically Cappy caught it. So Cappy was like, whoa, you went back even though you were just arrested there and you're on
Yeah.
trial? It's like, holy shit.
I
So
don't-
Cappy
I
caught
get
it. Like, I give credit to Cappy that she caught that one.
I'm so sad they could have used the views to bring others unknown unknown. They could have they have this huge platform of people watching them, get the word out, but instead you're showing this, and it kind of sucks too because we could have just been talking about Quinton, yeah, but no, we're talking about this because this sadly is like I said in the last live, this sadly is overtaking the case because it's so fucking chaotic. We can't look away. People like a train wreck. But she didn't. I don't think she learned anything. I wish her the best. Absolutely, I wish her the best. Y'all do not harass this woman. Do not bug her. Do not dox her. Do not do anything crazy. She is a mother. Let her learn on her way. That's it.
The news media doxed her, so that's
Well, we're not going to condone it. We're not going to continue
Yeah.
forward. She knows she fucked up.
Yeah, I just
But
hope
she
doesn't
doesn't know she fucks up at the same time because she went back.
I hope she just gets she.
The court will take care of her. Simple.
Yeah, I just hope it's not too severe and she basically learns her lesson, she moves on, she doesn't do this shit again, and she lives a long, happy life with her kid and everything's good with her. And this is just a bump in the road. I really do. Because she didn't sound like a bad person to me. I think she just was like a good person that just really fucked up and just really was the mob, and also just like how we talked about the early experiment with the Milgram experiment, like a person with authority could make you do bad things.
You could
And I
go
think-
stupid sometimes. We're
Yeah,
intelligent people. We have our faults, though.
Yeah. So let's play last minute of it. And then
Okay. Press
then
and
we'll
play.
just-
People there.
But I still don't understand what you think is going to come, like that's going to benefit Quinton from you being there, or from yelling, or from protesting, or
I really don't think it's going to do anything, but I
She's
just
gonna
think that she should know that she shouldn't live happily in that house.
So you're going by emotions basically, and it's not fact driven basically. You're not expecting the protest.
Like I know it's
driven basically. You're not
Why
not
waste
expecting
your
the protest-
energy
like I
on
know
that?
it's not going to do nothing for Quinton.
Okay.
See, that was the end of the video. See, I don't understand. If you know this and you're, again, self-aware of this notion, then why not use that energy and that passion at the right places, at the police station and CPS?
I think it's the easiest answer. Unfortunately, people work on emotion. The one fault people don't realize is that humans are not rational creatures. We are emotional creatures. We are not creatures of ration and reason. That's a lie. People are emotional. So emotionally, she's thinking that this is a good thing. But rationally, if you think about it, it doesn't do anything. And unfortunately, that's the main weakness of our society. And I know we're getting out of field a little bit. But we all think that we're rational creatures, but, that is the weakness. We are not rational creatures. So that is the weakness.
I mean,
So
I
she's-
try to be, but if I make a mistake, own up to it.
Yeah, I noticed the
Tony,
voice tone.
Captain has almost your voice tone. Did you notice it too, Tony? Oh,
think they
who has
they
my
messed-
voice?
Captain Napkin.
I don't know who that is.
That's the woman that you were listening to. That was in the one.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you this. I'm a trans man, and the one thing I have not dedicated myself to is voice lessons. But I'm gonna start now.
Anyway, there's a second video, but we don't really have time to watch the second video.
No,
There's a second
I mean I'm
interview.
sure we're gonna talk about this again because this has. I don't think it's gonna stop.
Yeah, but not Friday unless something big comes up. Friday we're going to talk about the area.
It depends. If it pisses me off the most, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. We're probably going to talk about the case we were talking about with the 3 women that was in that hell house with Ariel. So we're probably going to be talking about that on Friday. So if hopefully not Ariel Castro, we're going to be talking about on Friday. Hopefully, like, I already was watching a bunch of videos. I got to get the photos ready and also do a little bit of a script write for that one. But that one will probably be Friday's agenda. It's an interesting case. I'm not even sure if we can get that done in actually one episode. I think because there's the aftermath of like the court case and like what happened to the women afterwards is a story of itself. To be honest with you, with that case. So
burden of proof is right, by the way.
It says the emotional side of our brains react before our rational side. Absolutely.
But when you're called on your shit, but if you're called up on your shit and there's a video and you're already paying for the consequences of your actions, would you continuously keep blaming everybody else but yourself?
Yes.
You know,
that's what people do. People will continuously blame.
I rather just take the blame and be like, I fucked up. I'm gonna try to do better. You know, I would literally consider it. I'm not perfect. That's the thing. And I'm telling you guys, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And there's going to be times where I'm going to fuck up, and I depend on all of you to fucking call me out on it, because you're my friends, and that's what people do. Yeah. And that's how it should be done.
Yeah. Anywho, you can watch the second part of the interview. Let me just put it out, just so you guys have it.
Yeah, I see the second part.
Just the second part of the interview if anyone wants to watch it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we just basically found out that she basically followed the mob in doing her actions. She was running on emotions, and she was making a lot of excuses for why she did these things, either, blaming others or blaming her, certain conditions. And the truth of the matter is that, hopefully we learn by looking at this. We learn not to be part of the mob. We learn to differentiate the mob mentality and say to ourselves, are we becoming part of the mob? Are we seeing reality different based upon the mob? And we need to call it out. And also, do we adhere to an authority figure and allow our morals to be overtaken by that authority figure? And we have to look inward. So I think this is a very good lesson for people in their lives. And also it's a very good lesson to not do these things as well. So, I mean, at the very hopefully this actually helped people, learn about mob mentality, the science behind it, the whole the Milgram experiments with the when it becomes people of authority doing people following orders to do bad things, and I hope that this has actually enlightened people and gotten that out there. Yeah, we are responsible for our behavior at the end of the day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope this is like a teachable moment for not only that woman, but also other people that watch. But anyway, Tony, you have anything you want to say before we skip out?
No, other than that, and I just have to repeat again, do not bully, harass, or dox, or, we don't mean any ill will towards these people, even though I think Dolly's kind of shitty of what he said about the whole Hawaii thing. I do not wish these people harm. Belial does not... Sorry, I'm so used to calling you that. I'm sorry. Tim does not wish any harm. We do not wish harm on these people, and we hope you guys don't as well. Do not bully, harass. Karma comes. She always collects, and there's always a debt. So that's why we have to, project positivity as much as we can. But y'all just have a happy Halloween, and be safe. Watch some horror movies. I recommend Barbarian on HBO Max. That was actually really good. And thank you all for watching.